You know, I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it's a chore, like any other. We can't
How
let
many
God
dead hookers are in your?
we can't let God do all the work. Welcome to the weekly
I
chat.
guess. Hello. How many dead hookers are in your closet this week?
None. I've just been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas.
I know. I know.
And
That is an amazing shirt, by the
Joshua
way.
Graham is I played the Honest Hearts DLC, and Joshua Graham is a hell of a
Is
character.
he the one that looks like Shishio from Yu Yu Hakusho, but
Yeah,
in riot gear?
yeah. So his whole thing, yeah, he's wrapped in bandages, and so his whole thing is that, if you play the game, there's a faction called the Legion, and essentially, after the bombs drop, this guy who refers to himself as Caesar or Kaiser, essentially
Hey, Chikazar.
essentially creates like the Roman Empire in the apocalyptic wasteland, and it's this
Because of
like
course that's what you
it's
do.
sort of like it's like he basically created the Spartans from 300, but as an actual like modern day society.
Oh
And
god, that's a terrible
and so
idea.
the entire eastern part of the United States
Uh-oh, your baby has a mole. We gotta throw him off the frickin' cliff.
yeah, basically. So
Yeah, but if he climbs back, then he's a keeper.
in the timeline of New Vegas, the entire East Coast has been essentially conquered by Caesar and Caesar's Legion. And so
I thought it was the West Coast.
no, the West Coast is ruled by the NCR. The West Coast is ruled by the NCR,
Wait, are you talking about the East Coast that's in the continental United States? Or are you talking about, because East Coast is
okay, so
like
so
the
in
Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave?
okay, so no, so you know how like some of the Fallout games take place like a couple hundred years apart.
Mm-hmm.
So in the timeline of New Vegas, the NCR is essentially the biggest, most powerful, essentially the biggest tribe, the biggest like government in the United States, and they are based on the West Coast. But the East Coast, however, basically the eastern part of the United States and the East Coast is ruled over by Caesar's legions, because essentially what happened is a bunch of people came out of the vaults after the bombs dropped, after like 100 years after the bombs dropped, and they started to kind of form their own little like tribes and their own little civilizations. And so they were kind of like they were independent from each other. They didn't really like interact aside from like killing one another every once in a while. And so on the East Coast, Caesar's Legion basically said, "Hey, we're going to basically rally all of the tribes on the East Coast and like not rally necessarily. We're actually just going to have you
Because
like
I was about to say, you
we're gonna
fight more of
we're
like
gonna we're gonna conscript
I'm going
you."
by three.
Oh, okay.
I'm going by three knowledge, like Fallout 3. And like you fight, like you don't see a single Caesar's Legion in that game. You see like the Enclave
Yeah.
or whatever the hell
The
you're
Enclave,
going on, or
the Enclave are much more important in Fallout's 1 through 3. Not really New Vegas. Although you can find a set of Enclave armor in New Vegas, but yeah, they're not really as important.
I hated fighting those guys so much.
But
Those guys took so
but
like
essentially,
if I saw them and I had to fight them, it
yeah,
was going to be an expensive proposition because I would just have to melt through
yeah,
so much ammunition to get through.
yeah. But so essentially, Caesar's Legion basically conquered all these tribes under his boot and said, "Hey, we're gonna basically conscript you into the nation of Caesar, into the Legion, and we're not really gonna give you a choice in the matter." And so, there's Caesar, who's the ruler of the Legion, and so his right hand man was this guy named Joshua Graham. And so essentially, Joshua Graham, so he's from the tribe called the New Canaanites. They're basically Mormons, but they're Mormons, but like in the game, they're called the New Canaanites. And so Joshua basically over time, so he started out as Caesar's translator, and then eventually translator turned into giving marching orders,
Hired,
and then giving marching orders turned into being a commander, and being a commander turned into him being the right hand man to the. He basically became like a drill sergeant for the Legion.
he
Uh,
is the Dick Cheney of
yeah,
Kaiser's
kind
Legion.
of. And so what happened is, so before the story of New Vegas starts, there's this big event that all the characters talk about called the First Battle of Hoover Dam. And it was this
Oh, I remember this.
yeah. So before you and the courier enter the picture, before you the courier enter the picture.
I was about to say you and the courier are one and the same.
That's true. Before you the player enter the game as the courier, the NCR. Basically, there's kind of a three-way war going on in New Vegas between the NCR who are approaching from California and the West Coast. There's the Strip led by House and all of his families in the Strip.
By Dr. House.
And then
pop Vicodin like Skittles.
And then there's Caesar's Legion, who has basically conquered the entire east coast of the United States. And they're all culminating together. And so they're all culminating together at Hoover Dam, because Hoover Dam is this big source of electricity and power and like water. Basically, whichever one of the three main forces controls Hoover Dam, essentially is going to rule the Mojave Desert forever. And so during the initial first battle of Hoover Dam, the NCR and the Legion fought one another in this big epic conflict. And long story short about that is the Legion lost. They lost the first battle of Hoover Dam, mostly because they refused to use guns. Like basically, Caesar basically told them, "Hey, you're only allowed to have your Spartan armor, your Roman, your Centurion armor. You're allowed to have like machetes, knives, and like that's it. No guns. So
no guns. Except you could kill. What?
So what the NCR did was they're like, oh, we'll just plant like all of our snipers on the cliff around Hoover Dam, and we'll just we'll just do headshots on all the Centurions.
I was about to say, it's super easy at that point. Like, why?
Because
to prove
honestly, yes.
𝐿ZAR's an idiot.
If you talk to Caesar, I haven't actually done this yet, but I've seen the clips on YouTube. If you talk to Caesar, he'll actually and if you have reputation with the Legion, he'll tell you like, yeah, we don't use guns, and like if I find out that any member of my army uses a gun or they use some sort of weapon without my consent, I kill him, because he kind of believes that like guns and modern technology, like basically modern weaponry like nukes and rocket launchers, sniper rifles, he thinks all that stuff is like bad for human, like for mankind essentially. He's like, we need to go back to the old ways. We can't use this modern technology.
I was born in the wrong generation.
Yeah, basically he's a boomer. He's like a but
he's such a boomer.
But so so what happens is after the first battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion gets their ass handed to them by the NCR.
Of course they did.
But yeah. so Joshua Graham was the commander of the Legion at the first battle of Hoover Dam, and so he basically the bulk of the Legion gets just like mowed down by the NCR. And so,
of course they did.
And so Joshua basically calls for a retreat. And so they actually get a sizable portion of their forces out of there alive. But Caesar is like, sorry, Joshua, I got to make an example of you. So they tar and feather.
You saved way too many of my men.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
you have to be punished.
They're like, hey,
what a dumbass.
Hey, Joshua, I know you like pulled out and saved a bunch of our manpower and a bunch of our weapons and stuff, and you basically prevented us from being like completely wiped out, but I have to set an example, bro. So what they do is Caesar basically orders Joshua to get tarred and feathered, lit on fire, and then this mother ducker gets thrown into the Grand Canyon while on fire. And so long story short, everyone thinks he's dead, but he's not dead. He ran off to this place called the Zion Valley, and that's where the Honest Hearts DLC takes place.
What a way to go. He's like that dude at the beginning of Austin Powers who just refuses to die. Please, I'm very hurt. My wounds are starting to smell like almonds.
But no, so when you talk to him, he basically says that whole speech that I told you at the beginning of this episode, where he talks about how like I don't enjoy killing, but when done righteously, it is a chore like any other. And so the whole point of Joshua is that
I'm so glad when I do every single playthrough in New Vegas, I go with the NCR, because that's just a whole new level of stupid.
Like here's the thing about Joshua though, and why he's kind of a fascinating character.
No, not with Joshua. I'm just saying, like, with Caesar's Legion as a whole going against them. That's just.
I kind of want to do
cold stupidity.
I kind of want to do like a chaotic evil run where I'm like, the moment that I see the Legion, I'm just like, "Hail Caesar!" But so when you meet Joshua, everybody in the Legion like thinks he's dead. So he basically is like, "Yeah, you know what? I used to like Caesar and I used to like the Legion, but those guys threw me into the Grand freaking Canyon. So screw those guys.
I'd be more pissed that they set me on fire.
Well, yeah, he's like, they set me on fire and threw me into the Grand freaking Canyon. But so he basically he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna actively mess with Caesar because I'm one guy, but I'm not gonna support him anymore either. So when you meet him, he's actually in the process of trying to convince one of the tribes of Utah to. So like, there's like 3 tribes in the Zion Valley, and they all want to join the Legion. And Joshua has to step in and basically be like, no, don't do that. That'll be bad. Trust me. And the central plot of Honest Hearts is you as the courier kind of show up and basically get to influence what happens in the Zion Valley.
Sounds pretty good to me.
But
yeah, damn, that is so sweet.
But anyway, I wanted to do
just going into a big war to take control of the Mojave Desert, and you don't use guns when everybody has guns.
It's weird though, because if you get a bad reputation with the Legion, they'll start Caesar will start sending like death squads to hunt you down, and some of those guys will have guns. It's really weird. Even though Caesar has basically been
they're just like, oh man, this courier guy, yeah, he's badass. He's got like power armor and like 6 different like laser pistols and like AK-47s. Like
he's got an automatic he's got an automatic Gatling gun.
Dude, he's just like, dude, Kaiser's sending us to kill this guy. We can't kill him with the shit that we have.
Right.
We gotta go steal some guns.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're dead either way. We might as well try.
Yeah, basically.
I'll tell you what. We'll pump them full of holes, and then we'll just chop them up into cube like little croutons, and then we'll just stick an axe in his back. He's like, "Here, look, we use melee weapons. That's fine." Oh god.
I wanted to do a different cold open, but that was cool too. But anyway, I wanted to talk very quickly about there are popular shows out there that everybody loves, right? Do you have shows that are considered by many people to be widely popular shows that are considered to be like really good shows that you just don't personally care for?
I have a few.
Here's a short list of mine.
I have 3.
Yeah, go for it.
I have 3 that I can think of. Number 1, The Office.
That's one of mine too.
Number 2, Friends. Number 3.
I didn't think about Friends.
I can't stand Friends. Number 3, How I Met Your Mother.
I thought you liked that show.
I hate that show.
I thought you used to guilty pleasure watch that with your mom and your sister though.
No, you're thinking of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay. Which I don't like anymore. I think everyone kind of universally hates that show, and I'm happy about that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Bazinga!
Which is weird because it went on for like it was like something like over 10 seasons or something like that.
I can't wait for young Sheldon.
No.
Anyway, here's a short list of mine. And yeah, by the way, I know that people are gonna murder me when I say this list, but here we go. Steven Universe, The Office, Doctor Who, Rick and Morty, and SNL are a handful of shows that I either just flat out don't like them, or I understand why other people like them, but they're not for me.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
All I want to do is see you turn into a giant podcast. A giant podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Steven Universe. Here's the thing. I really hate talking about Steven Universe because the discourse surrounding Steven Universe sucks.
It really does. Yeah. Like the people that don't like it, for like, I'm sure you have a reason why you don't like it, but a lot of the other reasons that people don't like it is for very
Well,
like malicious
so
reasons.
there's like when it comes to Steven Universe, the majority of vocal fans there's like two sides of the spectrum, right? The first side of the spectrum is I hate Steven Universe because it's SJW propaganda, a bunch of nonsense, right? Then you have sort of the polar opposite of that, which is like the hardcore diehards who are like, if you don't like Steven Universe, you're anti-LGBT issues. You're not a real ally. What the hell is even wrong with you? And it's like, so you know,
It's like I don't like the. It's like I don't like the show, man. I'm sorry. For the record, I love the show.
No,
like,
Nick likes the show quite a bit. Here's my thing with Steven. Yeah. So like, it sucks because I don't like Steven Universe because of the art style. I don't like the pacing of the story. I don't. There's like stuff I don't like about it. However,
it does drive you crazy after a while.
I think that it is a net positive that it exists, and not every single thing has to appeal to me, a grumpy 29-year-old man. This is fine. I'm happy that it clearly has...
The grumpy just turned 29-year-old man.
I think it's awesome that, obviously, this show has found a really dedicated fan base that loves it quite a bit, and I think that's awesome. It's just not for me. And so, but I hate talking about it because if you even hint at the fact that you don't like Steven Universe, some people online will just jump down your throat, and then some of the 4chan people will be like, "Yeah, this guy's on our side." It's like, I'm nowhere near you. Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
You see that?
Join us at.
You see that Fallout guy? He's on our side. I'm no. Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like. One of the main reasons that I don't like The Office is because of that.
Yeah.
Is because like I don't hate it for. It's like, oh, you just don't get comedy, man. You just don't get it. And I was just like, no, I just don't. It's not comedy. It's not comedy for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it really is.
There are some. Okay. So people talk about people talk about how some comedy is subjective. I don't agree with that take necessarily. I think that comedy has different. I think people write comedy in
flavors.
I think people write comedy in very distinctive ways, and there are some people who the way that they write a setup and a punchline and like a delivery of that punchline, sometimes their pacing is really good, and sometimes you just don't gel with the writing style of a comedy writer, you know? Like for me, for example, oh god, shoot, what the hell is that, like, oh god, why am I boffing this? That like Canadian It's Always Sunny type show. What the hell is it called?
Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Letterkenny.
The writing on that show is really hit or miss for me because sometimes I'll really like it, and then sometimes it's like I don't hate it, but it doesn't gel with me. Like I'm like, this is.
I think you should still watch it because it gets better
and like
as the show goes on.
The Office is kind of like that too, where like when I watch The Office, first of all, a lot of people will tell you like, you know, you won't really understand The Office unless you've had an office job. I've had an office job. I understand the show. I still don't think the show is funny.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then on the flip side, like you have something that's near and dear to our hearts. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where we do get that, where it's just like we have been working that pretty much our whole adult lives.
Yeah. But
like,
also
even like before.
But also I've heard arguments that people don't like how crass It's Always Sunny is, and like I understand that. I think I love the fact that it's crass, but I
love
get
the fact that it's crass.
I get that some people don't want. Like, cause It's Always Sunny sometimes does push those buttons, and it kind of does kind of like push the boundary of like, this is like kind of acceptable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally love it.
Then you just get bangers like
I personally love It's Always. I love It's Always Sunny, but I
it's still one of my
understand.
favorite shows of all time.
I get it. Like everything is like kind of personal taste, I suppose.
Yeah, I just hate. One plus, like one of the things that defines a sitcom and what draws you in is like, whether you love them or hate them, you want to watch the characters.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things where, like, if the characters are just giant shitbags and you're supposed to love them, that really turns me off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in Friends, for example, every single one of those Friends it's like they're like It's Always Sunny characters, but like you're supposed to like them.
Right.
You're supposed to
So in It's Always Sunny, you're laughing at the fact that all of these people are kind of
Or
horrible.
terrible. Yeah, no, they make no. It is completely cut dry.
They make no resolution. The showrunners they make no resolutions that everyone, the gang, are horrible people.
They are horrible people. You're not supposed to love the gang, but we love them regardless.
Which is an accomplishment. These characters you're supposed to kind of hate. They actually are pretty endearing. I don't know how you do that. That's talented. I don't know how you do that. That's really hard.
That's the writing of It's Always Sunny.
And,
kind of, and like I really don't like that Ted Mosby guy from How I Met Your Mother. He's such a tool. He's such a ship. He's such a dirtbag.
So I don't hate the characters in this show, but it's kind of like what you were talking about a second ago about how if you don't find the characters compelling or interesting, or if you can't connect with them on an emotional level, that the show just won't work for you. I felt that way about Doctor Who. I kept, people kept telling me that, like, oh, these characters are gonna have these really dramatic story arcs, and like you're gonna get to love each individual doctor and all their companions, and you're gonna get to love the side characters. And I watched one season of Doctor Who, and I was just like, I got
you watched Eccleston.
I got like 4 episodes in, and I came to the realization, like, I don't care about any of these people. I don't care about Rose.
Really?
I don't care about the Doctor. I don't care about these side characters. I don't care about like the characters in the random like towns and planets they go to. I didn't care about any of them.
Really?
And that's on me probably, but I couldn't find it. I didn't find them interesting.
It doesn't gel with you like certain shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like...
It's just like I can admit that, like, oh yeah, like there's obviously talented actors and there's talented people working on this show. There's like good actors, there's good actresses, there's good directors. The writing is like okay. So like I recognize the effort, but yeah, sometimes you just watch a show that everyone tells you is great, and it's like I don't see the magic.
Yeah. Well, some people do a really terrible job of hyping up shows.
Yeah.
Because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You watch it, it's like, this is dumb.
Okay, this actually happened to me recently with a video game. So, and by the way, this is totally not an excuse for me to talk about World's End Club. Anyway, so when World's End Club...
We are totally not sponsored by World's End Club, by the way.
Although, Kotaro Uchikoshi, if you want to get in on this action, I don't care. Dude, I follow you on Twitter. If you want to get on this action, you want us to interview you, sir? We will be honored. I'll do it. if he somehow sees this and wants to be
a translator.
He knows. He actually knows. He's actually pretty halfway decent at English.
Really?
He's not like 100% fluent, but like he's like 95% fluent basically.
He's close. He's pretty close.
Yeah, he's like pretty. I don't know if he can like speak it, but he can definitely like write it at the very least. But anyway, so in all seriousness, so World's End Club is a joint production between Kotaro Uchikoshi and the director of the Danganronpa series. And if you've ever played those series of games, you know that they're about like very violent, over-the-top sort of Persona-style murder mystery games, right? It's kind of like it's sort of like, imagine like like the humor of Ace Attorney, but there's like a murder mystery involved, and that's kind of what that's sort of the tone of Zero Escape, The Somnium Files, like Danganronpa. They're all kind of in that similar genre of like over-the-top murder mystery, a kind of escape room type of games, right?
It's like a cross between a visual novel,
yeah,
and Clue.
And so when World's End Club was announced, and there was like, it's a joint production between the director of Zero Escape and the director of Danganronpa, everyone was like, oh my god, this is gonna be like this awesome visual novel escape the room game. This is gonna be amazing. And so the first trailer
this appeals to your fetish so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trapping people.
but here's the thing, right? When they showed the first trailer, in fact, we watched the world premiere trailer of World's End Club.
Yeah, it was the last time that we did a Nintendo Direct.
On this podcast, we actually reacted to the first initial North American teaser trailer for the game. So the trailer of the game proposes this idea that like, oh, there's these. Stop me if you've heard this one before, boys. There's these like 10 kids, and they're stuck in an underwater aquarium, and they have to escape by either working together or killing each other and playing an escape room game. Ooh. Here's the problem though, is that
Your fetish.
yeah. Well, I didn't say it. You did. Oh god. Oh god. Is it hot in here? Or is it just me? No. Anyway.
You're acting pretty sus there, Bucko.
Bop, 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 bop.
Whoa. No.
Among Us.
Oh god.
No, but anyway.
You almost deafened me
No.
with that.
No.
Because I was doing something on my computer, and this guy sent me that sound clip, and I literally had it against my ear.
Why would you put it
I
against
didn't
your
realize
ear? That's on you.
So, like, that... Oh my god! It's like...
Yeah. But yeah,
It was
so
like 1:30 at night,
if
too,
you
and I
guys
almost...
have ever gone online and like heard that like meme clip of the guy who goes Among Us, it's just like it's a really bad quality soundbite, but like the bad quality is on purpose. Anyway, so World's End Club, the first trailer kind of showed this like escape room type game, like, oh, there's these kids and they're trapped in an underground aquarium, and they have to get out by playing a death game. Except here's the thing. What fans quickly figured out is that part happens at the very beginning of the game, and after about the hour mark of the game, nothing like that happens for the rest of the game.
Really?
Yeah, so that first like hour and a half is just the escape room game, and then the rest of the game has nothing to do with death games or so it's a T for T game, so they call it the Fate game. It's got nothing to do with like death games, escape the room, none of that stuff.
Really?
The rest of the game is a road trip. It's a very colorful romp.
Stand by Me.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good comparison. It's sort of like, imagine like Persona, Stand By Me by way of like Persona. That's basically what World's End Club is. And so my point that I'm trying to get to is that when people saw that initial trailer that was like, ah, yeah, this is more of what we've come to expect from _𝐿 and the director of Danganronpa. Ah, yeah, the whole game's gonna be like this. And once they figured out,
it's like, gotcha.
and then once they got past that like first part of the game, a lot of people were like, what is this?
What is
this?
What the hell is this?
Wait, 𝐿, did you make a 2D platforming puzzle solving game? 𝐿, did you trick me into playing a 2D puzzle game?
Yes, he did.
Did you trick me into playing a 2D puzzle game with the art style from the modern day Pokemon games? Is that what you just did to me? Yeah, so
that's right.
So here's like I actually knew about this ahead of time, but people who would so the game came out first on Apple Arcade before it came to the Switch. So people from both Japan and NA were talking about how like the trailer of the game is deceptive and it lies to you and and so I get why they did it, right? Because I think that the fan bases of both Danganronpa and Zero Escape kind of have expectations about, like, they have certain expectations about these directors, and I don't think if 𝐿 and I feel bad, I don't know the name of the other guy, the director of Danganronpa. So if they had presented the game, if they had presented World's End Club for what it was, I don't think a lot of people would have been excited for it or even bought the game. So I kind of, on a weird level, I kind of get why they did that. But so I will tell you though that if you kind of set your if you love Zero Escape and you love Danganronpa, and you sort of set your expectations on the bench for a minute, if you kind of set that stuff aside, if you walk down the path that World's End Club and like kind of play through the story that the game wants to show you,
Mhm.
I think you're in for a good time. Not I won't spoil anything. You should definitely go play it. If you okay, listen. If you love games like Persona or Zero Escape or Danganronpa or Phoenix Wright or Doki Doki Literature Club, if any of that type of stuff is your bag, you'll love World's End Club. And if you're willing to kind of take the journey that the game wants to take, that wants to kind of show you, I think you're in for a good time. But it's nothing. But I will say ahead of time, it's nothing like Zero Escape. It's nothing like Danganronpa. So don't expect it to be those games. They share they share similarities, but they are not the same game.
Well, speaking of which,
Yeah.
E3 just happened, which
Yes.
I totally forgot it was happening. So why don't we go through the list of games and then give our thoughts and feelings on it?
Yeah. Okay. So so full disclosure, I watched only one show this year, and that was the Nintendo show because I'm a filthy casual Nintendo fanboy. Because I have to justify my I have to justify my purchase of expensive AF amiibos. I have to.
To be fair, I at least saw the Nintendo one too because I just didn't care.
No, honestly,
much.
I think we talked about this when we did our show about the Oscars and about kind of like award shows in general. But yeah, I don't feel the need to watch the entire like every single presentation on E3. Well, here's like I know that the moment that a new trailer goes live or a new
it's gonna be on the YouTube.
It's gonna be on YouTube.
IGN YouTube.
It's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on my Twitter timeline. Like if like stuff I truly care about will be shown to me like 10 seconds after it happens on the show. So for like 90% of the actual E3 presentations, like I don't need to sit and watch the entire show.
No, we don't.
It's like how I watched all of the Game Awards last year, and I sort of regret regret doing it because, man, it was basically so much grandstanding for what amounted to like a trailer reel.
That's pretty much every direct though, right?
Yeah, but here's
reveal.
like I'm willing. Okay, here's the thing about Nintendo, and so I only watched the Nintendo show as I mentioned earlier, and the reason that I will watch the Nintendo show is one, I care more about Nintendo than basically Microsoft and PlayStation and like whatever those guys I like sort of don't care as much about. But I mean, like, oh, I'm interested in what they have to show off, but like, I sort of don't care as much about as Nintendo.
Yeah, you're not chopping at the bits to play like Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
or something.
Exactly.
Even I'm not. Even I'm not chopping at the bits to play Halo Infinite. I'm just like,
the reason I watched the Nintendo E3 presentation and their directs is because Nintendo, when it comes to the
they go all out.
When it comes to here's the thing. I actually sort of
distilled it down.
Yeah.
Nintendo has distilled it down to like they got their format on lock.
Yeah.
It's quick.
Yeah.
It's very well informed. It's well designed, and it's in and out in like 50 minets. That's it.
Exactly.
You don't have they don't have like a 3-hour presentation.
Show, yeah.
Where Todd Howard's saying that we're gonna have 32 times the size.
It's gonna be 47 times. It's gonna be 47 times the size of Fallout 4.
It's gonna be 64 times the detail.
With 64 bits.
64 bits. 32 bits.
Yeah.
16 bits.
But no,
8 bits.
But yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The reason I like the Nintendo Directs and the reason that I would like the E3 presentation this year is that like they're short, sweet, and to the point. They don't drag.
It's all crunch. No fluff.
They don't drag like the CEO of the company out and have him talk for 20 minutes about how like we love gamers and we love Nintendo.
Bowser?
That's he's the president of Nintendo of America.
Okay.
So the North American branch of Nintendo, Doug Bowser is the president of that. Bowser. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they don't feel the need to like talk down to their fans. They're just like, hey, you want to see games? Here they are. And like that's literally it. That's literally all you have to do.
Yeah, they don't have this. Yeah, they do not have the CEO just have some terrible speech about
we love video games.
We love you and we love video games, but we love money most of all.
And like, listen, they're all like that, but like, at least Nintendo is like a friendly drug dealer that's like, here you go, you're gonna pay me, but here's the merchandise.
Merchandising. Here's a Mario Goomba USB lamp,
Yeah,
which I'm
exactly.
sure it's already a thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna dig into the Nintendo show, but before that, here are some. So again, I didn't watch these other shows, but here are the highlights that I got off of the internet.
Here, I'll pull up the list too.
Okay, so Ubisoft, okay, is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I don't know.
I've always just said Ubisoft, but I heard a lot of people call it Ubi.
Okay. Well, apparently they're in like hot water because some of their management, I guess, was caught like doing sexual harassment stuff. Like, anyway, I don't know about any.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me either. But like, anyway, Far Cry 6, they showed more stuff of the guy from Breaking Bad. And then
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
I saw the original trailer
Gus
for
Fring.
Yeah. I saw the original trailer for Far Cry 6. I got Fallout on the brain.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6, and then the new Mario and Rabbids. That's cool if you're into that.
Oh yeah, Mario XCOM as I call it.
Yeah, basically. Honestly,
it is basically Mario
that
XCOM.
is actually kind of cool. When I saw gameplay of it, there was this little part of me that was like, maybe I should try that.
The first one's really cheap. It's like $15 online.
Oh, okay. So moving on to Gear, and so honestly, that was all that I thought was interesting from Ubisoft. I'm sure they have other stuff, whatever.
I'm sure they have another 6 Assassin's Creed coming down the pipeline.
More DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or is that the one is that the most current one?
That's the most current one.
That's like
the Viking one.
The Viking one, yeah. And then the one before that, didn't they do one that was like the Roman Empire or some crap, or like?
They did the Greek.
Yeah, the Greek one.
They did the Greco-Roman Empire.
Yeah.
They did like the Spartans and stuff like that. And then before that, it was the ancient Egyptian Empire.
Oh, okay. So Gearbox had a presentation, and two Borderlands. Gearbox. Gearbox basically had 2 major announcements. They had a little look. They had a first look at the Borderlands movie with the director Eli Roth. It looks cool. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I haven't seen that yet, so I'm actually looking forward to going to take a look.
And then they also announced that there's a Tiny Tina game coming out soon. Nobody really.
Yeah, I'm excited to play that.
Nobody really knows what it's about or kind of how it's gonna shake out, but it looks. I'm sure it'll be cool. I like Tiny Tina.
I think it'll be a lot. Chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies.
She got the hugest badonkadonk. I love Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina is great. I was talking to friends on Discord when I was like in like there was a point in time when I was like super into Borderlands 2 for a hot minute. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm gonna close my blinds a little bit. Somebody just parked out front, and now my face is like being like blinded by the light. Let me just kind of. Sorry. But anyway, oh god, it's still there. Jesus Christ! Look at my face.
I know you're lit up like a detective in a neo noir or something.
Hopefully, well, okay, that's not so bad, I guess. Wow. Now I'm in the dark. But anyway, yeah, they when I was in my Borderlands 2 phase, I was talking to friends about like, yeah, I really like Tiny Tina, and they're like, Tiny Tina sucks, and we had a big argument about how much they were wrong.
First off, how dare you, sir? Or madam, I don't know who you're
real men cry at the end of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep.
It like when you really get down to Tiny Tina's like backstory, it is very tragic.
Yeah,
it is very sad.
Life on Pandora
it's like the
sucks.
First time it sucks for everybody. It's just like, oh my god, this is like horrifying. She's basically a lost boy.
Yeah, but so there's a Tiny Tina game coming. There's the Borderlands movie. That'll be probably pretty sick, I think. Yeah.
I'm pretty excited, yeah.
Microsoft, they showed off more. We were talking about this a second ago. They showed off more Halo Infinite multiplayer. Sure.
You want to know why they call it Infinite?
Because of the wait time. The production cycle of that game is infinite. Is that why?
No, because Halo fans are some of the most infinite patient. Like they have so much patience, it is almost infinite. But it kind of breaks my heart because they break our hearts every single time
Don't go
for the past
breaking my
decade.
heart.
Like 4 was okay. 5 is.
You don't even want to look at the screen. You're like, we don't talk about 5.
We don't talk about 5. We don't talk about 5 here. Oh
We don't talk about
God.
5 in this house.
Ah! It's so bad. It is so terrible.
Do you have
Like,
do you have that Halo collection, the Master Chief collection on Steam?
I have multiple versions of it. I have it on Xbox and I have it on my PC.
I've heard that was okay.
No, that's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Halo 5 Guardians. It's terrible. Because they completely hyped up. It is exactly the same way as the game you were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
They advertised it as one thing, and there's nothing about it that was advertised whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, it was basically it was along the lines of like, oh, Master Chief has gone rogue. What's going on? Why did he turn coat? And it's like, oh, it was this mystery, and then we're watching it. And it's basically just a misunderstanding.
Oh yeah,
in the game.
Love that.
And then they're trying to. They were so terribly trying to push these new like team of Spartans and stuff like that. It was just like, get the hell out of here.
You're not Master
These guys
Chief.
are. You're. It's not. It's not that. I was willing to give it a shot. I gave that game every shot imaginable.
Isn't that?
And it's terrible.
You know what, man? I get it because I gave Diablo 3 every shot imaginable. So I feel you. I get you. Like, there's a certain kind of fury that you feel when you want a game to do really well. Like you wish nothing but for this one game to be everything it promised it to be, and like,
and it's not.
And then it just
really
and then it just crushes your expectations.
Yeah,
but that was
like, it wasn't just
that was Diablo 3
like
for me.
Yeah, it's like the multiplayer was terrible. The campaign was really short and terrible. And just some of the design and the story just didn't make a whole lot of sense because one of the characters turned evil and then like they're trying to get her back, but then like there's this big war that's going on. And it's like it's terrible. Like, shame on you.
All right.
343.
Yeah,
Shame on you.
So, what was it, like, Bungie used to direct the Halo series, and then they handed off the IP to... They handed off the
343 Industries.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and then Bungie went to go do Destiny 2, and, like, it just hasn't really stopped since, so...
Yeah.
It's terrible.
People were telling me that Destiny 2 has gotten better. Like, when it apparently it had a bad launch, like a really bad launch, and now the game,
but it's kind of plateaued and kind of sank down a little bit because like the meta right now is terrible. I'm too afraid to go back in because like it is a nightmare to play that game. Especially nowadays, because now you basically have ice powers, and they basically have just completely changed the whole metatextual like balance of the game.
So you're basically saying everyone's like Mei from Overwatch? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty apt description. And it's really weird because like it's cool for me, but it's terrible for everybody else. Like my favorite type of gun got buffed to an insane degree that Bungie now thinks that people are cheating, but they still have the. Bungie has never been good about balancing that type of stuff ever.
Yeah.
Because they either make stuff way too powerful or they just completely just cut it from the game entirely. Like, whew, like there's this whole... There are certain classes of weapons that just never get used in Destiny 2. Like scout rifles. Nobody gives a flying fuck about scout rifles.
So there was this card in Hearthstone. And it was called The Caverns Below. So in Hearthstone, in the Journey to Ungoro expansion, they launched this new type of card called the Quest card, and what the Quest card was like
Quest.
So when you put a Quest card in your deck, it would always start in your opening hand, and it would always be a 1-mana card, and you play that card, and there's like you have to meet and once you meet a condition that's written on the card, you get like a really powerful game-changing effect, right? So the Caverns Below was a card that said, like, play 4 of the same minion, and if you can do that, you get a token that basically says, for the rest of your game, for the rest of the game, your minions are 5/5. And so what people would do, is so Rogue as a class had all these cards that would let you recycle cards, that would let you like bounce cards back to your hand. They had like cards that they had like minions that would like throw.
Yeah, they had like Shadow Step and Preparation and all that stuff.
There were cards like Brewmaster that could throw a minion. You could take a minion from your side of the field and
forgot about Brewmaster. Holy crap!
And so what ended up happening is Quest Row became the most broken thing in the entire game, because in Hearthstone there are minions that like. There's like a minion that you play and it summons like 2 other minions. So what you would do is like you would play this card called Giggling Inventor. And so it was like a 5-mana card and it would summon 2 Annoyatrons. But because of how the Caverns Below worked, when you played Giggling Inventor, you would basically pay 5 mana for 3 5/5s, 2 of them which had Taunt and Divine Shield. And then here's the thing.
No.
You could bounce back the Giggling Inventor back to your hand, play it again, and get and get 2 more 5/5s with Taunt Divine Shield for 1 card. Like, yes, so Quest Rogue was... So what ended up happening is that Quest Rogue became so... They tried to balance it like 4 different times. They're like, oh, we're gonna increase the amount of cards you need to bounce. We're gonna decrease the power. We're gonna decrease the amount of power that the cards get. So what ended up happening is they basically created like a card that was like, it was a bad design, and instead of just like balancing it, they just said screw it.
Oh wow! Hearthstone making a card with a bad design that completely shattered.
I know, right? That never happened. That never happened.
Surely, yes.
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
My good buddy Shutterwalk and 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐞 say hi, by the way, Blizzard. Anyway.
Oh, what was the name of those like those dark dwarves that would just go? It was like warrior, like you damage one.
The Grim Patron. Yes.
Grim Patron.
Yeah. The Grim Patron.
I hated fighting it.
Patron Warrior used to be so stupid. Anyway, it reminded me of that story. So, finishing off Microsoft real quick. Sea of Thieves got a free update that adds Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean stuff to the game. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Props to them for not making it a paid DLC, because they totally could have done that.
I don't think they have paid DLC.
Oh yeah, they do.
I think it's all like.
Oh yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah. You can buy like cosmetics and stuff in the game. Even though I paid $40 for the game, there's like DLC that you can buy.
Okay, but I meant like stuff like the expansion or like.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like stuff like that. Like
they actually credit to Sea of Thieves. They actually do have a lot of like free content that was patched into the game. There's free content in the game, but like there's also a handful of paid DLC. But like by no means are they the most egregious offender of the paid DLC model.
Not by a minute.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot.
And then finally there was a Bethesda showed off a world premiere trailer of their new game called Starfield. And it's like it's sort of like a Star Wars bounty hunter type RPG game.
Ooh, you have my curiosity.
So you can like do things like, you can be like a smuggler, or you can be like a ace combat pilot. You can do all this stuff, and it's sort of like Fallout in space, kind of, or like Skyrim in space, kind of thing.
Is that just Outer Worlds?
Yeah, basically, but like it's their take on it. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, bro. Okay, so Square Enix. I have to talk about this. I actually did not watch the Square Enix show. I
heard it was pretty bad.
Here's the thing. I heard this too. And I was like, how bad could it have been? So I went and saw like a highlight reel. It was that bad. So here's what happened.
Really?
So the first thing that Square Enix showed off was, you know how they made that like terrible Avengers game recently?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're like, hey, let's double dip on that and make Guardians of the Galaxy. And so there's gonna be So there's going to be a check this out. There's going to be a live service Guardians of the Galaxy game, and they showed footage of this bad boy.
Oh,
they showed footage of this
Why
bad
you
boy.
gotta do this? Why you gotta do this to me?
Just say the words out loud. Live service Guardians of the Galaxy.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
To quote the Jim,
I love money and the young people.
To quote the 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚, live service. It's a live service AAA video game. But no, so yeah, it looked kind of. Here's like it looked. I'm not gonna say it looked bad. It just looked like completely mediocre.
It just looked. Yeah, I've seen a few clips of it.
Yeah.
It just looks like the Avengers. It literally looks like the same engine.
Like I'm not saying it's like, oh, it looks like crap. I'm not gonna go full AVGN on it, but like, it just looks completely like
mediocre,
acceptable. It looked like a passable video game, you know, like.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I don't think that would have gotten people that upset. But they showed off a trailer for this game. By the way, so have you heard of Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins? Have you heard about this game? Okay. So essentially what So okay, I was told that this trailer was one of the worst trailers ever presented at an E3. And I said,
how bad it can't be that bad. Yeah.
That's
how bad could it be?
That's like so this is a Final Fantasy spin-off game. And so what it is basically, when I heard the concept, I'm like, hell yeah! And then when I saw the trailer, I said, oh no!
Oh no!
What this game is basically a remake of the very first Final Fantasy. And I'm like, hey, that sounds great. Except it's been modernized. So
what do you mean by that?
So essentially, all the characters dressed like Hot Topic models, and like the voice acting is really so essentially so there's like a meme online called like Chaos Bro, and what it is like in the trailer for this game. So like the bad guy in the very first Final Fantasy game is called Garland, but like
Garlic.
Garland. But the final boss of
Garlic.
The final boss of the game is called his name is Chaos. He's Satan. He's basically just a big Satan. Like imagine Satan if he was yellow. Like that's Chaos, right?
Okay.
And so in the trailer for this game, all of the characters they say the word chaos like 20 times. They're like, I'm here to hunt. I'm here to hunt chaos. It's like, but chaos is destroying the world. Like, okay, have you ever played like a JRPG and like the writing is like really cliche and awful?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this trailer was. It's like, oh, we have to go get every single.
We got to go find the 4 crystals or the 4 maidens.
Yeah. So like,
seal them, break them, recruit them.
Yeah. So
then we got to go fight God.
In the big checklist of JRPG, in the JRPG cliches, it's like, oh yeah, there's crystals and we have to stop chaos and he's a bad man and there's an evil king and he's possessed by a demon and like it's the most stock thing ever. But imagine that, but with Hot Topic characters. And so like
that sounds awful.
And by the way, there's like a guy. Okay, so one of the character models is like this normal.
I gotta see what these characters look like.
So there's like a normal looking like dude, but he's clearly being voiced. He's clearly being the VA is like clearly supposed to be is like clearly like a black guy, and this character model is like the whitest thing ever. And so it's like he talks in the most cliche like Boondock style way possible, where he's like, "Yo, man, we're gonna go get chaos, bruh. Come on, home slices, let's go get chaos."
Never say that again.
Yo, ever. come on, man, we're gonna go get it's like Mudflap and Skids or whatever from Transformers.
Oh god.
Yo, man, come on, we're gonna go get the crystals, man.
This looks terrible.
Yeah, dude. Are you watching the trailer or are you just looking at the screenshots?
I'm just looking at the screenshots right now.
It's bad.
What the fuck is this?
It's a reimagining of the first Final Fantasy game.
Well, it doesn't seem like you have much of it. Like, when we think of old school Final Fantasy, we think of like the old like
sprite art.
It's kind of cheap sprite art, yeah. It's like cheapy-ish almost,
Yeah.
not like Final Fantasy 15 where
It's
it's
like-
all crawling in my skin.
It's like somebody wanted to take Final Fantasy 7 Remake and like Final Fantasy 15, as you mentioned a second ago, and like cram all the stuff in that game into the first Final Fantasy game, and it just doesn't work at all.
Well, it definitely looks like the same engine.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
don't know.
I encourage you to watch the trailer after the show and like take a shot every time somebody says the word chaos.
No. I'll watch the
Yo,
trailer,
man.
but I won't.
Yo, man, we gotta go get chaos, man.
Oh.
Yo, man. Anyway.
You sound like B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted.
Anyway,
To all the I can't say it.
the final two non-Nintendo things I want to talk about real quick is Capcom announced, oh yeah, Resident Evil 8 DLC. That's coming soon. So if you liked Resident Evil 8, there's cool stuff. There's new Monster Hunter DLC.
We know you love the big titty. We know you love the big titty vampire lady.
I mean,
what about?
Do you not?
A big dong vampire daddy? The daddy DLC.
Promote that man! Promote that man!
Capcom was just like, write that down. Write that down.
Somebody get that guy a corner office now!
Resident Evil 8. Daddy's home.
That's right. Octodad. Oh, you call it Octodad. Yeah.
Capcom, call me. I got ideas.
Call us. We'll consult for you, bros. Anyway,
we'll sponsor you.
So final thing, and I almost didn't throw this one on here, but I thought it was interesting. Razer had like a very small presentation where they revealed the new Razer Blade 14 gaming laptop. It is apparently the most powerful gaming laptop they have ever made.
I saw the specs for that. It is amazing, dude. Razer's been killing it the past couple.
Yeah.
Dude, they had a really good.
This little computer that I'm using right now is a Razer Blade.
I also have a Razer Blade. Yeah, I don't have it with me. It's in the bag over there.
It's there
But
somewhere.
yeah, I read the specs for that. It looks like a.
What's the what's the graphics card in there?
It's got to be a 30 series card.
Is it
It
really?
has to be.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh man!
Hang on, let me look it up. Razer.
Whoa. I was like, if they have like a 20 in there, that makes sense, or a 2080 or some crap. Like I would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But like if it's a 30 series card, that's nuts.
That is really.
How much
nuts.
do they want for it if it has a 30 series card in it? Like it's gonna be like a $2,000 laptop.
Probably, yeah. First off, it's not an Intel based. It is a Ryzen system, which is very good. Let's see. Oh my god, that thing's a monster. Yeah, it is a 30 series. Tell me, dude, it has a 144 hertz screen.
Oh my god, Jesus.
Oh my god. It's got a 3060 in it, which is pretty good for a laptop.
Jesus! That's more than pretty good.
You want to see some real speed?
That thing,
I'll show you some.
I think you can melt butter on that thing.
Yeah, probably. Oh wait, they have another one that has a 165 hertz display with a freaking 3080 in it.
Oh my god. That's gonna be like a $2,000 laptop.
Oh, it would have to be, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't just release something with a 3080 in it for like $1,400. You can't.
Well, especially nowadays. It's really sad because almost all my computer, like usually computer parts usually don't appreciate in value.
Right.
They're kind of like cars, but not as like bad. This is one of the weird eras of computer gaming, or just computers in general, where my PC has now almost tripled in price with the parts that I have in there. That graphics card alone.
You made your computer right before the pandemic hit, right?
2 months. before the pandemic.
Right before the big parts of the pandemic hit. You would like.
Oh my god!
And you would
I am so glad
And you had spent
If I
about you had spent about 6 months getting parts.
yes, but yeah, dude, if I waited like maybe 3 months before after, or if I didn't buy my parts as quickly, I would have been screwed.
Yeah,
Like if
for
I
sure.
didn't get that graphics card, it's crazy. My graphics card now, it's nothing special, folks. It's a 2060 EVGA KO
Right.
Ultra. It's like a $330 card. I want you to guess how much my graphics card is now.
$700. Oh shit! Really? Okay. Like what? Like 1,200?
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh shoot! So basically, you would have had to pay 4 times the price.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay.
God damn, man.
It's like
The
it's those guys with the it's those crypto mining guys with the scalper bots, dude. Like as soon as they go on sale, they all just get pre-purchased.
Well, it's not only that. Like, have you seen the video of the riot in front of the Micro Center?
No. There was a riot outside?
There was a riot outside for like the 3060 or something like that. I'll look it up.
Those
Yeah, it is
You know what kills me, right? Is they recently talked about like the 30 series cards, and now don't they have like even more advanced cards that are coming? But like,
yes.
why would you release new cards when people couldn't even get your last generation of cards? Like, instead of making a new line of cards, just resupply the cards that people already can't get. Like, I don't know. Why?
No, because they're greedy pricks.
And I mean, and listen, I get it. Supply lines are completely shreked because of the pandemic. I totally get that. Understandable. But like, don't introduce a new series of cards then.
I know, that's what I've been saying for months, but everybody's like, oh, it's fine. It's not like processor. Like, seriously, here's how bad this is. There is a global silicon shortage.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what they make silicon out of?
I assume that
Sand.
I assume that they get it from the Silicon Valley. Oh, come on, that was funny. Come on.
God damn it. Anyway, no, they get it from sand. They are having a global sand shortage for computer parts.
They need to go to the Mojave Desert and go get some sand. Or the Gobi or something. The Sahara? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I think it takes a while to process.
No, I mean,
but yeah, it's just like there is a global computer shortage.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like parts especially.
Parts especially, like I've never even seen an Xbox in the wild.
Oh,
you're talking about the PS5
Xbox
in the wild.
Yeah, you're talking about the Series X and S, right?
Yep.
And then also
Still haven't seen one in the flesh. I'm not even convinced they're real.
I think it's
still a ploy.
I've seen videos of people playing PS5s, and I've seen people streaming on PS5s. But I'm in the same camp you are. I have not seen a PS5 in the flesh. I haven't seen it. I
haven't touched it. I haven't licked it.
I haven't seen one in the stores. Like not even a demo unit.
Nope.
They
can't.
Not a one.
Can't.
Did you? Okay. Do you remember, like, right when the PS5 launched, there was that prick on Twitter who had, like, the mountain of PS5s, and he's like, "Hey, look at all these PS5s I have, guys! Look at them all!" And then somebody broke into his house and stole all his PS5s, and he's like,
"No, I didn't know that somebody stole all."
Yeah. So what happened? Yeah.
Good.
So
you get what you deserve.
So this guy, this prick on Twitter, posted. For anyone who didn't see this. Like right after the PS5 launch, this like rich guy somewhere bought, like, no joke, about like 30 or 40 like PS5s. And so he had like a picture, like he basically built Pink Floyd's The Wall of PS5s.
This motherfucker.
We don't need no new gen hardware. Yeah, no.
We don't need no next gen graphics.
We don't need a second controller. No, but anyway, Don't sue us, Pink Floyd. Anyway.
Most of them are dead.
It's parody.
I think all of them are dead.
It's parody. Don't worry about it, guys. Okay, listen.
Is Roger Waters still alive?
Listen. All right. If anyone from the Pink Floyd estate or somebody who represents one of the Pink Floyd estates is watching this and is seriously thinking about suing us, there's this guy named Doug Walker I want you to go look at. He made a very interesting album that I think you should take a look at. I'm just saying, you might want to adjust your priorities if you're coming.
Taking a plea deal right now?
That's right. That's right, baby.
Fuck it, we'll throw him under the bus. I don't care.
I will throw Mr. Douglas Walker underneath that bus.
Douglas Walker under the bus.
I have never met or seen this man in question.
I'm sorry, Senator. I do not recall at this time.
Exactly. And then my lawyer says, it's okay, Patrick. I'll remember it so you don't have to.
Oh.
No,
just put it.
Anyway,
put it on our demo reel that nobody will see.
No. You're being such a Melvin. Stop being such a joker right now.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I guess at the end of the day, I'm still just.
No.
I'm just some guy with the glasses.
Oh my God. We've reached.
You eat this shit up for breakfast. You love this popsicle humor.
We've reached peak cringe here on this show.
Oh no. No, that's the thing about rock bottom. That's the thing about cringe. There's always another bottom.
That's the thing about cringe, Cap. I'm always cringy.
You were born. You merely adopted the cringe. I was born in it.
Molded
by it.
No, okay, but anyway, let me I wanted to get to Nintendo. But anyway, yeah, please release new computer parts. Please release new hardware. We need it desperately. Oh no! So anyway,
yeah.
Let me tell the story about the guy before we move on. Yeah, so this guy bought like 30 PS5s, and then like a week after that post, he reported to he filed a police report because somebody had broken into his house and stolen like all the PS5s.
Good.
And like, I normally don't.
So, we
okay. Full disclaimer: we here at the podcast do not condone theft or stealing. At all. You shouldn't do it. You'll go to jail.
The only thing that we steal is your hearts.
That's right.
And
the only thing
prayers.
We do not condone theft here on this podcast. However, it's pretty delicious when a prick like that who decides to go on social media and post about how, oh, look at all this money I have and look at all these consoles that I have that you can't have. It's pretty righteous when the hammer of irony smacks you right up top the head. It's pretty goddamn delicious, and it's a savory dish that fills my stomach with joy and satisfaction. But we do not condone theft or stealing on this podcast, except for these kind of people.
I hate scalpers so much. Scalpers have been ruining it. I know, scalpers have been ruining console launches since time immemorial.
It's a spicy meatball. Anyway, so right.
This reminds me of the story. Like, do you remember when the pandemic first happened and that guy bought and hoarded all that hand sanitizer?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then I think he actually pissed off the local PD because they ended up raiding his house and taking all his hand sanitizer that he spent like thousands of dollars on. I was like, you prick.
Hoarding all
I'm
the toilet
so happy.
Hoarding all the toilet paper, hoarding all the hand sanitizer. Yeah, I remember there was a story about a lady who bought like all the she went to like every Walmart, Target, and like grocery store in the area. She bought like all the face masks. Like all the disposable face masks. She bought like several hundred she basically bought an entire county's worth of masks, and she like opened up a Facebook listing saying like, I got masks, like one for $10 or something.
That's bullshit. Fuck you.
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, I got masks, I'll sell you one for $10.
I remember people were selling like one roll of toilet paper for like $10 or something like that. Dude, when I think back to how batshit insane the beginning of the pandemic was to where we are now, it's like, holy fuck, we
It's
were like
weird
animals.
because like the same people who were like denying like there's no pandemic, Dr. Fauci's a fraud, were the same people who were like rushing into Walmart with a shopping cart to steal literally every roll of toilet paper off the shelf. Go, 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 go!
This reminds me of that one episode of King of the Hill with the tornado.
Yeah.
When Hank is like buying some spark plugs or oh, he's buying the fuel filters.
Yeah.
And they only had a pack of 10. And then like some of the women, honey, get quick, that jackass is buying all the filters. And then another woman is like, what are fuel filters? What are they? I need one. This jackass is buying them by the dozen. Somebody stop it.
Yeah, I know, right?
And it's really funny because people were fighting over toilet paper then too.
Okay, so right in the middle of peak pandemic time, I went to the drugstore to get a flu shot. This, by the way, this was before vaccinations. I was just going in for a flu shot, and I decided, and so they basically told me like, okay, your appointment. I was at like a drugstore. I was at like a CVS, and they said we'll be with you in like 5 minutes. Feel free to go sit down for like 5 minutes. And I said, I'm going to go, like, do some shopping before my shot. Is that cool? And they're like, yeah, just be here in, like, 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I go over to the paper goods shelf, and, like, all the toilet paper is gone. So I get my shot.
Yeah, we had a global toilet paper shortage for months.
And then when I discovered that the grocery outlet by my house started carrying toilet paper, I actually, like, no joke, and so they had a sign that said like 1 per customer, and so my mom had gone to the store to buy one, and so my dad and I, no joke, we got together in the car. We drove together in the car, and he said, "All right, I'm gonna go into the store and get some toilet paper. You walk in 4 minutes after I do, and get another thing of toilet paper." Yeah, so we did that for like 2 days in a row.
That's good. And you guys probably still have so much toilet paper. I bought the like the giant thing of toilet paper from Costco not too long ago. It was like maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, you couldn't find.
I still have like a quarter of it left.
Yeah, you couldn't find. Everyone scooped up the big Costco-sized toilet paper. You like 4 or 5 months ago, you couldn't find those things.
Dude, did you know that Costco, the #1 ticket item for Costco is toilet paper?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That blew my mind.
It's probably like toilet paper. It's probably like toilet paper, alcohol, and
alcohol is a big one.
Like, and then probably like Kirkland disposable goods. I don't know.
Man, I want a Costco hot.
No, but anyway, let's get to Nintendo real quick.
We're not gonna have another Costco episode of the podcast.
Kirkland, that offer from the last episode is still good, Kirkland.
Still, yeah.
Costco, if you want
little whores for you.
You give us lifetime memberships and you pay us a little like fee, like a sponsorship fee. We'll do it for life. We'll do it for life. If you give us like a monthly stipend or whatever and give us gold memberships, we will like. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. I'm just eating some tuna salad that was made from freshwater, delicious Kirkland style tuna, Kirkland brand mustard, Kirkland brand pickle relish.
Patrick, we need to stay on topic. As I sip here drinking my Kirkland K-cup coffee.
That's right. Indeed. Nintendo.
Delicious.
So Nintendo...
Fresh Abaca beans.
Freshly imported Kirkland style beans from Chile. The freshest coffee beans.
Very nice floral notes.
Nintendo.
We gotta talk about Nintendo.
So here are like the E3 highlights.
There is no Nintendo now. There is only Kirkland.
That's right. They got bought up by Kirkland. Okay. So there's a lot of this is the only show that I watched, and here are just some. Here's basically everything I thought that was important. There was a new Smash Brothers character announced. It was Kazuya from Tekken. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I think
it's not another sword boy.
Thank God. Otherwise the internet would have like pooped its collective Kirkland brand Pampers.
Oh my God. Smash fans are a whole different breed, dude.
Dude, they are. But anyway, so it was now I think they have a fighter. Smash Brothers now has like Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, Tekken.
Second,
Final Fight.
who's left?
Final Fight, I think, right?
Oh yeah, Final Fight, yeah.
I
Who's
think that's
left?
I think that's all. Mortal. The only one they're missing is Mortal Kombat, but that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
Oh, I think they'll make it happen.
You think that they're gonna put a Mortal Kombat character in a Smash game? You're high on acid.
They put Cloud in.
Cloud's not from an M-rated video game. Actually, wait, is Bayonetta rated M?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay, you know what?
Is it rated M? I think so.
Because I was gonna say I don't think Nintendo would put any M-rated video game character in Smash. That's just me though.
They did Solid Snake.
Oh yeah. Solid. Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Bayonetta. Is
it T for teen? I don't think it's M, is it?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Where is Bayonetta 3?
Right. Now, well, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna read off some of the stuff that got announced. Kazuya from Tekken.
No, I don't want the medic. Damn it.
Life is Strange remaster, and there's a new entry in the series, Life is Strange True Colors.
It is rated M.
Oh, okay, there you go. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So you know what? Screw it. All right, sure. Get Scorpion in there. Okay, get Sub-Zero. Okay.
But like.
Okay, that would actually.
You probably just need one.
That would actually be incredible if they have a trailer with Scorpion and he gets his little like hook shot, and there's Mario like wah wah. Get over here! And like he like
dude, Sephiroth impaled him on a fucking sword.
He like
why not?
I would love to see Scorpion like rip off Mario's head.
Just rip Luigi's spine out of his skull,
and like the blood comes gushing out of the head.
It's like how in Konosuba when they throw up, it's like rainbows or something like that.
So as Luigi watches his brother's head gets ripped off, he says, "Mamma mia!"
Oh God.
No, but anyway,
that'd be awesome.
Life is Strange remaster, and there is Life is Strange New Colors that's coming to the Switch soon. Guardians of the Galaxy that's also coming to Switch. Hey, look at that.
Goody.
There's like gonna be a there was a JRPG that was shown off called Astria Ascending, and it kind of has like an Octopath Traveler kind of vibe to it. It's like a modern day it's like a 2D. It's like a 2D 3D RPG, like a 2.5D RPG in the same kind of style as Octopath Traveler. You know what I'm talking about?
It's past Point Break.
Yeah, but like you know what I'm talking about, right? How like how Octopath kind of has, so it's clearly a retro style RPG, but like it's a modern day version of. It's kind of the same thing. By the way, they're doing a Dragon Quest 3 remake. Jesus Christ, they're doing a Dragon Quest 3 remake. They're making a Dragon Quest 3 remake.
I love it.
It's a threequel. Anyway,
the squeakquel.
I almost said threesome.
I know.
I Freudian slipped so hard right there.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, it's going. They're remaking Dragon Quest 3 in the kind of in that Octopath Traveler style, and that's coming soon. I'm very excited about that.
That's really cool.
That wasn't an E3. That was part of the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary stream that happened like a month ago. Moving on. Okay. There's like a Super Monkey Ball game that's coming out. That's cool. I've never cared. My friend Mordecai loves those games. But yeah, that's.
I know. I see him on Twitter. He's just like, that's it. Game over. Everybody go home. Nintendo won.
There's like a new Mario Party coming out, and apparently this one has full online capabilities as opposed to the last one that was like some stuff you could do online, some stuff you couldn't. So good on Nintendo. So this was the big one. This was one of the big ones. Metroid 5 Dread.
Metroid 5 Dread. Hallelujah.
I have never played it. I have not played a 2D Metroid game ever in my life. I've wanted to. It's been on my bucket list forever. I've wanted to get into...
You've never played like Super Metroid or anything like that?
I've wanted to. I've just never been able... Every time I get interested in 2D Metroid, the print run of any game that I want to play, it sells out immediately. It goes
away in like 2 seconds.
It evaporates
it's gone in like 2 seconds.
It evaporates like freaking dust, like in the wind, like just like smoke. It's gone. I wanted to play that the one on 3DS, like the remake of Metroid 2 or whatever that one was.
Mhm.
I wanted to play that one, but yeah, it sold out immediately, and they never printed more. They never did another production run.
Damn. Double homicide.
But yeah, it looked cool. The Zero suit looks really awesome.
Oh yeah. I think she's like fighting AI or something.
There's like an evil robot. It's like sort of like HAL 9000. It's pretty sick actually.
What are you doing, Samus?
Maybe I'll play it. Maybe this is the time.
This is the time. Yeah, try it. It's so much fun. I'll buy it. I'll buy it in a heartbeat.
God damn it.
Because if I buy it, if it does well, then like maybe we'll get some more in the future instead of waiting. What's it been over
Metroid
10 years
Prime
at this
4,
point?
the game that will never come out. So there's this meme.
Yeah.
There's this meme from World's End Club where one of the characters yells, "The game is canceled," and that's how I feel. And that's how I feel about Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah. Holy sweet Jesus.
Anyway, Just Dance 2022. I've never been into it, but like some people love that franchise. There was like some racing game they showed off. I didn't really care. I didn't catch the name. They showed it for like 10 seconds. I don't know. It's some race. It's some like
Flash in the pan and you're done.
Yeah. There's like a new DBZ third kind of 3D fighter. Cool. No,
that already came out, but it's getting ported over to the Switch.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So they showed a bunch of stuff in like rapid fire success.
It's Kakarot, right?
Kakarot. Oh yeah, I guess. And then they showed this off in another direct, but they're kind of just following up on this game, Mario Golf. It actually looks pretty sick. I don't normally go in for golf games, but that looks pretty fun actually.
My dad loved golf games. He played that Tiger Woods game on the original Xbox for like all the time.
Monster Hunter Stories 2. It looks cute. I don't know. I'm sure if you like the first one, I'm sure the second one will be just as good, if not better. I got really excited about this one. There's a new WarioWare game called WarioWare Get It Together.
Oh man, I haven't thought about that series in so long.
Dude,
we played the hell out of that.
Low key, the WarioWare games are kind of better than the mainstream Mario games.
I love it. I love it so much.
I love the micro games.
It has so much. I love the micro games too.
All of those games are they ooze charm. Those are wonderful games. We played the one on the Wii. We played the one on the Wii U. I haven't played any of the 3DS one.
On the DS.
I heard that the DS and the 3DS ones are pretty good. Yeah. You played that one?
Our buddy Chris had it.
Did you play it though?
Yeah, I played it.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, use the stylus for a bunch of stuff.
I haven't. I don't think I got to play that one. But anyway, But yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure it's awesome though. This is more WarioWare. Yes, please.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Wubba dubba dub, is that true? Whoa, you go, big guy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wubba dubba dub, is that true? Post for the fans. Anyway, before I go full meme, yay! This is the part of the show where I died. There was 2 points in the show.
I know.
There was 2 points in the show that I died of happiness. So we finally, and I mean, finally, got a gameplay and a story trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5, baby! I was about to go.
I know you've been waiting for that for like what,
baby?
like 3
I was
years
trying
at
to.
this point?
I didn't mean to go Wu-Tang, but like 5, baby!
Wu-Tang.
This is a V, right? V for Varnava.
Yeah, that's a V.
There you go.
Even though you could just do that. Yeah, it kind of looks like you're doing. Yeah.
That's right. Anyway. Live long and prosper, baby.
Give her the Spocker.
What? Do you remember American Horror Story? There was that.
Jimmy the Lobster
Hands?
Yeah.
Season. I think it was. I want to say 4.
It was Freak Show, right?
Yeah,
it was Freak Show.
So like, yeah, his fingers were like fused together like this. So his hands look like this.
He has big, meaty claws.
But anyway, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Okay, so just to give you an idea of how excited I was. So when they were first announcing and teasing the Switch back in like 2015, They showed a
Has it
freaking
been over 5 years at this point? Jesus.
yes.
What?
When they were showing off the Switch, and they basically had like a tech demo showcase of like stuff coming to the Switch to get people to buy it.
Yeah, they just had that's it.
They had a little tiny teaser. They're like, Shin Megami Tensei 5 coming soon. And we've been waiting for 5 years for news about this freaking game.
Oh my god.
And they showed and by the way, they delivered. They showed off the opening cinematic. They showed off like the story trailer. They showed off like some gameplay. Dude, it looks crisp. It looks fresh like a bag salad. It looks good. I'm excited. Because for a long time, Atlas has kind of been riding the coattails of Persona 5, Persona 5 Strikers.
I know they've been milking that horse for all it's worth.
Yeah. I mean, credit to them though. They actually put Persona 4 on Steam. That was a really good call.
That was a really good call.
That was an incredibly good call. Getting more Atlas games on Steam is gonna all it's gonna do is increase the fan base and increase the exposure even more, which is good because Shin Megami Tensei is kind of a niche franchise.
It wasn't even that expensive. It was like what, $15, $20 or something like that.
It was like $20, but like it's a port. And by the way, it's a port of Persona 4 Golden, which is like the PS Vita. Like, okay, whatever you talked about, you couldn't talk about
the definitive edition.
You couldn't talk about the PS Vita without talking about, because like you could be like, oh yeah, but like okay yeah, the Vita might be a bad console, but it has Persona 4 Golden on it. Now that game, now you have no excuse. You no longer have to own a PS Vita because you can just buy it on Steam.
Thank God.
The one game that the PS Vita had as its crowning jewel is no longer exclusive to the PS Vita.
Thank God.
But no, Persona 5 Shin Megami Tensei 5, yay! It looks good. I love it. I wanted to do like a trailer watch with you, but I forgot to put it in the notepad. But like, if you're watching this right now, go watch the trailer. It's amazing. It's great. If you like Persona, you'll probably like this game. It's gonna be amazing. It's basically like, it's kind of channeling. Actually, I'll show you. It's kind of channeling very similar like Nocturne energy. Sorry, the lighting is bad. It's channeling very.
Oh, that's right. That just hit. Oh, I totally forgot that just came out.
Yeah, it's like kind of the game is sort of channeling like very similar Nocturne energy. It's about like a modern day protagonist who basically gets transported to like the like apocalyptic Tokyo, and he gets turned into like a half human, half demon. It's very similar to Nocturne.
That's really cool. I thought that was really out of print for some reason.
No, here's the thing: the Amazon listing is so the reason you probably think
it's back on Amazon.
The reason that you think that it's out of print is because the original. So they had an original listing for the Nocturne remake on Switch, except that was the wrong listing, and somebody posted it way earlier than it was supposed to be on there. And then so they posted the official one. Like, so essentially, there are certain when game listings get posted, there are companies like basically there's like the publisher who posts a listing, and then there's like the developer who posts a listing. So the official Nintendo listing is the one that is like the official listing that you should go to if you want to buy the game, and that's the one on Amazon. But yeah,
good to know.
But yeah, I had the wrong listing on my wish list for like months until I realized like, oh wait, no.
Does this one have Dante from the Devil May Cry series in it?
Yes. They confirmed that the DLC with Dante is in the game. It's in this game. Which is funny because I thought so originally. So I had heard conflicting reports about this exact same topic. Because the first like game journalism reporting that I heard about it said it's going to be a remake. So the first thing I heard was that it's going to be true. It's going to be faithful to the Japanese version, so it's not going to have Dante in it. But then I heard, oh no, it will have Dante in it. But then somebody else said, oh wait, no, it won't. And then it officially got confirmed that yes, the DLC with Dante will be in this Switch version of
they don't have that
Nocturne.
Sweet ass sticker on it.
Yeah. But anyway,
man, I've always wanted to play Nocturne.
Yeah, you should play it. It's pretty sick. It's definitely not as like, it's not as casual as a Persona game. It's a lot harder to get like. Persona is all about like it's about like kind of modern day optimism. It's very anime. I'll just say that.
Looking good, Joker.
Yeah, no, it's very modern day. It borrows a lot of like modern day anime sensibilities. It's sort of like if you combine like Persona 3 through 5 are basically like if you took like a slice of life anime and you put like Devil May Cry on top of it. Is kind of it's like if you put like Devil May Cry, Ghost Rider, and like Nichijou together in a blender. That's basically what Persona is.
Oh, man.
I should say Persona 3 through 5 because Persona 1 and 2 are they're not
more like
quite,
the old school.
Yeah, they're more similar to the original SMT games as opposed to like because three is where they really started to like kind of lean into the modern day anime aesthetic.
The anime aesthetic.
Yeah. And by the way, both modern day Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei games have their pros and cons. I guess it all depends on the experience you want. If you basically want to play a visual novel with an RPG on top of it, play Persona. If you want a very like gothic, very doom and very like almost Fallout-esque JRPG, you should play the Shin Megami Tensei games because that is sort of the experience you're gonna get. Don't walk into like Shin Megami Tensei 3 or 4 or even 5 expecting a happy-go-lucky, plucky a band of characters who come together and learn friendship. That is not what happens in these games. No. No. The guys.
It is very doom and gloom.
Even though there's demons, and even though they're taking over this city, if we stick together, there's nobody who can beat us. No. That is not what happens in these games. No, sir.
No, in the old school ones, it's just like God and the devil are pricks, and we're just caught in the middle of their holy war.
I think I've talked about this on the show before, but Satan in the Shin Megami Tensei games is actually kind of cool. Now, okay.
Oh yeah, God's the prick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now granted,
like the God in these games is like the Old Testament.
Okay, so
right?
I should clarify. And yes, this gets very confusing, so please bear with me. Satan and Lucifer are oftentimes two different people in the SMT universe, depending on what game you're playing. And like Satan is more like the traditional like goat hoof evil kind of pitchfork wielding like demon from hell, right? And Lucifer is more like the fallen is the misunderstood
the fallen angel, the morning star.
Yeah, he's more, he kind of falls more in line with like the misunderstood kind of redheaded stepchild of heaven. So in most games where you talk to Lucifer, like he's still technically Satan, but he's more like, I find in most Shin Megami Tensei games, if you get to talk to Satan, he's actually like kind of a stand-up dude. He'll be like, "Hey man, yeah, you want some help taking out those angels? Yeah, I'll help with that." Like he's usually pretty sweet. Actually. Yeah, hey man, those angels are a real drag, right? You want some help with that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, yay, Shin Megami Tensei 5. And then
I know what this one is.
So there's like 2 or 3 other things, but the thing that I care the most about, Advance Wars Reboot Camp.
Advance Wars.
Advance Wars Reboot Camp. It's called Reboot Camp.
When did the last one come out? Like 14 years ago. 15 years ago.
Okay. If you guys have never, first of all, if you've never heard of Advance Wars, first of all, I don't blame you because they haven't made an entry in the series since, I want to say like 2011.
We were teenagers. Oh, it's been way earlier than that.
When did Days of Ruin come out? Hang on.
This was like before we graduated. This is before we graduated high school.
Days of Ruin. It might do. Is it like 2009? Holy crap! When did it come out? 2008. They haven't made an entry in this series for like 13 years. Sorry, I thought it was like 2012, 2010. No, it was 2008.
Oh no, my friend.
No, but so if you've never played Advanced Wars, Intelligent Systems, the studio that makes Fire Emblem, back in the day, you might only know intelligent systems for Fire Emblem Heroes or Three Houses or like the other Fire Emblem games. But did you know back in the day they had multiple franchises? And one of those franchises was called Advance Wars. And it's basically like imagine
it's been around since the NES era, right?
Except that was called Famicom Wars. That was a different thing.
Oh, right.
So like so here's the deal with that, Nick. Famicom Wars like has Advance Wars has some of the same development staff that worked on Famicom Wars, but it's not like the entire team, but like a couple of the members that like
it was the predecessor.
Yeah, exactly. It was sort of like the prototype, like the rough draft of what would eventually become Advance Wars. But so yeah, it's basically like if you play the game like it's like if you combine Fire Emblem with the board game Risk, and that's basically what Advance Wars is. And it kind of is, yeah. It's very addictive turn-based gameplay. And what you're basically doing, it's you're like
I played Advance Wars before I played ever even touched a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think I might have played Sacred Stones before I played Advance Wars, but it was a very similar stretch of time.
Yeah, it was like within the span of like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I
actually I didn't play a Fire Emblem game until like was it Fates? It had to have been Fates. I didn't play Awakening.
You didn't play Awakening, so it was probably Fates you played.
Yeah, it was Fates.
Because your first game was Birthright, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's Fates. Yeah. And by the way,
and then it's been a downhill slope ever since.
No, don't say that. That's not true at all.
No, for me, for my sanity.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here's the thing though. In hindsight, it kind of sucks that you started with Birthright because that game, compared to most other entries in the franchise, it's very different. Because when you play Conquest, you get the normal kind of Fire Emblem units, like you get your knights and you get your cavalry and you get you
get a weird like a lot of these like Japanese,
so like
the samurai and the ninja and
so in Birthright you sort of have like custom classes for the Hoshiden side, like instead of having like a dark mage or like a fire mage, you have like a spirit,
you have like a monk,
you have like a spirit master and a monk, and instead of having like a bow knight or a great knight, you had like puppet master and like you had stuff like ninjas, which they're kind of similar to archers but not really. And so
not really, no.
Well, like they're both like ranged units that don't want to fight at close range.
It's true.
But like that's like a weird game to start with because it's not really like you can't really jump from Birthright to something like
here it is. I found it.
Or like you can. It's
solved the puzzle.
It's just a lot harder to jump from like a game like Birthright to a game like Awakening or Shadows of Valencia.
Shadows of Valencia is one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time.
That's one of my favorite games of all time. It's a great ass game.
It's so good. I'd want to finish Birthright, but it's just like.
I mean, hey, you beat Three Houses, so.
I beat Three Houses. I beat Echoes.
Oh too. That's right. You got clout.
Yeah, I got clout.
Honestly, yeah, Birthright is sort of like. Here's the thing,
it's
though.
A weird game to start.
Fates in okay.
I
don't want to talk about. I could talk about Fates for hours, because to this day the fan base still debates whether or not Fates is the worst Fire Emblem game in the franchise or the best game in the franchise, and I'm definitely not in that camp.
Both kind of. Yeah.
I'm definitely not in it's the best game in the franchise camp. That's definitely not where I am.
No, it's not, but it's okay. It's the middle child.
Yeah, exactly.
Three Houses is the older brother. Fates is the forgotten middle child,
which is definitely
Echoes
strange because I used to think Awakening was the worst game in the franchise. I have changed my opinion on that. Although I still
have not played Awakening. I
have minor issues with Awakening. I still have beef, but not nearly as much as I did when I was younger. I have come to appreciate the good stuff in Awakening more so than I did as a teenager. But anyway, I want to talk about Advance Wars for a bit. So yeah, Advance Wars Reboot Camp is a remake of the first two Advance Wars games, and they're doing it in like a new chibi art style. And I'm assuming they're gonna have online multiplayer, but like basically they're remaking the first two campaigns, right? And so I hope that people come out and support this game. I have it pre-ordered on Amazon already, because I want Intelligent Systems to see that, hey, people still love this franchise. And so what ended up happening is back in the day, Intelligent Systems made a bunch of Fire Emblem games, and then they made a bunch of Advance Wars games. And people loved they sort of loved both franchises. But when Fire Emblem Awakening came out in the West, it like jump started
it was like a brand new renaissance for
it basically
Fire
breathed
Emblem.
Like fresh new life into the franchise in North America, because up until that point,
like nobody gave a shit.
It's not that nobody gave a shit. It was a very niche It's not that nobody gave a shit, because I gave a shit. But like it was a very niche. It was niche. It was very niche. It was niche.
It was super niche.
So like you had nerdlingers like me who played Sacred Stones and The Binding Blade and just Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance. Even though it's a whole Final Fantasy situation, because in North America, the first Fire Emblem game that got released here was called Fire Emblem, but that technically was Fire Emblem 6, and not that it's a whole. I don't want to explain it. It's anyway, yeah. People played them, but nobody really like. It was not really like a blockbuster franchise. And then Awakening came out and kind of did. They sort of went full Persona in a sense, and they kind of added like they sort of leaned really heavily into like anime tropes, and they really the developers wanted you to really push relationships between your characters as a big part of the mechanics and a big part of like the story, that kind of thing. And so like some people debate to this day whether or not like the stuff that like kind of the precedent that Awakening sent was like good for the franchise or bad for the franchise. It's still kind of debated, but point being
I think it's a good thing, because it kind of rescued the series as a whole from the annals of obscurity. It's not like F-Zero or like Turok or God, what's another franchise? Or like Star Fox or Kid Icarus or something like that.
So for a long time, Fire Emblem was surviving off the popularity of Awakening and then Fates, and then the big money shot, as it were, was Fire Emblem Heroes. Because here's the thing, Nintendo was kind of taking a big gamble on this game, because it was their first. They were dipping their toes into the mobile game market for the first time, and nowadays, obviously, everybody knows that mobile games just print money by the bucket load. But back then, it was kind of a risky proposition. Like does Nintendo create a mobile game? Does it not? So long story short, they made a mobile game, and it made them not just some money. Not a lot of money. It made all the money. And so
it was so much money.
And so because it made so much money, Nintendo was like, hey, Intelligent Systems, you're only making Fire Emblem from now on. Scrap the Advance Wars stuff. Nobody cares. I cared. Nobody cares.
I care. I care.
I cared too. But anyway, they basically said, you are putting your full work staff and development team on new Fire Emblem.
Waifus.
Waifu Emblem.
Anime waifu girls.
Waifu Emblem.
Waifu Emblem.
Honestly, that some people
we
actually
want you to make winter units. We want you to make summer units.
Yes, indeed.
We want Halloween and fall units.
Don't forget Easter units.
Oh, I forgot about the Easter units.
Yeah, listen. We have to have we have to have the girls in bunny suits.
And fuck it, put the boys in bunny suits too.
That actually happened a couple times.
I think I actually have one of those units.
Yeah. Including,
I think one of them uses a carrot as a weapon.
One of the most meme characters in the metagame in Heroes is Easter Crom, who is like, compared to most other units, he's like fairly terrible, but he kind of became a meme, and because Wales kept plus 10ing him just to flex. And they're like, I'm gonna make Winter Crom I'm gonna make Easter Crom like super OP and broken. It's like, wait, what?
Whatever became of the door guy getting his own
Oh no,
unit?
so he won Choose Your so what Nick's referring to is the Choose Your Legends competition that happened earlier this year in, I believe it was April or February, a while ago. So here's what happens with Choose Your Legends, right? Is they have a big, like, it's basically a unit popularity contest, and the gatekeeper from Three Houses, so they give the top 4 units that win an alt.
Oh, you play Fire Emblem? Name 2 of the games. That's not Three Houses.
Oh man, I don't know. Black Eagles. Oh no, oh. Oh yeah, I know, right? But essentially, what ended up happening is the gatekeeper from Three Houses won. He got into one of the top 4 spots, and so they're so what happens is every, like, they spend like 7 or 8 months like making the Brave banner, and so the thing about the Brave banner is it's like the units that show up that win the Choose Your Legends competition, they get like a special alternate version, and those units tend to like be like slightly above the current power curve. So when Brave units come out, it's a big deal. Like, oftentimes, like, that year's Brave units will set sort of like the standard for the current metagame, because it's like, oh, like, what like broken things can this year's Brave units do?
Just make another broken Edelgard. It's fine.
No, seriously. Fine. Anyway, Advance Wars is coming. It's gonna be great. Please buy it.
Advance Wars. I'm buying mine.
So, like, rapid fire finishing this up real quick. Yeah. They're making a Zelda Game & Watch. Cool. But
oh, that's pretty cool.
But the most important thing is Breath of the Wild 2 finally got its first like teaser trailer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So Link has the ability to like phase through
walls.
Yeah, like phase through like walls. And
he's like a Diglett.
There's like floating. This game, I don't know what's going on with this game, because there's floating castles and floating islands in Hyrule. Although there's
Skyward Sword 2.
There's
Electric Boogaloo.
There's a meme going around. So like, after Breath of the Wild 2 came out, the entire Zelda community wanted to know, like, hey, Nintendo, because Zelda is such a prominent part of Breath of the Wild and you're making a direct sequel, can we play as Zelda in the next game, especially since we can play as her in Hyrule Warriors? And so in the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, there's a part where they show Zelda getting, like, thrown into some dark portal. And so people have made a meme, like, like Shigeru Miyamoto's like, you guys wanted to play as Zelda. No.
I wipe my ass with your feelings.
But yeah, that was the Nintendo conference. Yay!
Woo! We made it. I dare say, I think I hate saying like, oh, so and so won E3, but I definitely think that Nintendo definitely had the best conference.
It's a very outdated concept for sure. But yeah, if one conference won, I would say it would be Nintendo. But like, again, I only saw the Nintendo conference, so
they win by default.
They win by default. That's right. The only winning move is not to play. Anyway, I have like a tiny story to talk about, and then we can do the One Piece report.
Yago. I feel like I need a sound cue for that.
Yeah, dude, I know. I kind of want to get a soundboard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
Except I have no room on my desk for anything like that. But I like the idea of a soundboard.
I think there's a way I could do it. We'll see.
But anyway,
it kind of leads into a piece of equipment I want to get.
I swear to God, this is the last video game story. I promise. We'll talk about something else. I promise. Pokemon Go. It's a video game.
Pokemon Go to the polls.
Okay, listen.
Oh, man, I knew that would upset you so much.
Hush up for a second. God damn it. I knew this was going to happen. So last night, I was looking for material to talk about for the show today, and I found this story about Pokemon Go that I'm about to talk about. And I said, I have to stop myself from making a Pokemon Go to the polls joke during the show. And I specifically told myself, Nick will cringe so hard if I make that joke. He'll just abandon the podcast, so I can't make that joke.
But you see, now you activated my trap card.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I pulled the Uno reverse card. And I'm just like, gotcha, bit. Omae mo
It's like
shinderu.
it's like if you watch the Japanese version of Yu-Gi-Oh, like somebody will be like trap card open, and then the opponent will be like nani.
Gotcha.
That's right. Trap card open. No, but anyway,
Kado Hasno.
watashi no turn. Draw. I love Yu-Gi-Oh so much. It's so over the top and silly.
I do too.
It's over the top and silly that like everything.
Pokeball. Make sure Wheeler.
Well, like, even the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, not Vrains. Vrains sucks. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Yeah, I also like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Like they're all really good. Now, granted, some of them have aged very poorly, but some of them are still. I don't know. I'm not gonna defend my love of Yu-Gi-Oh! For you people. It's incredible, and if you can't see that, then that's your fault.
Mm.
Anyway, Pokemon.
So go on.
Pokemon Go.
Before I derail this conversation with Miss Clinton.
Pokemon Go to the polls. Oh, dude, she was trying so hard to be relevant. Oh my god,
Oh god,
what a terrible candidate.
I'm just chill.
What a terrible.
Have you seen the one where it was just like
she was a terrible candidate. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. Pokemon Go.
The polls.
So, but no, stop it, stop it, bad Nick, bad.
You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable.
I'm gonna get my beating cane. Okay, you know what? No. You've brought this on yourself. The name of this the name of this episode is Pokemon Go to the Polls. You've done this. You did this to us.
Derail the podcast once again.
The name of this episode is going to be called Pokemon Go to the Polls.
Pokemon Go to the Polls.
You've done this to us. I can't believe you've done this.
2 out of 2 titles for the podcast. That ain't bad.
That's not bad at all. Anyway, so
at least
during the pandemic, Pokemon Go. I feel so defeated right now. I feel so defeated. Okay, you know when you play Dark Souls and you get killed and that screen comes up, it's like you died? That's how I feel right now.
This old chestnut.
You died. Yeah, exactly. So during the pandemic, Niantic, what are you doing?
Something funny from my side.
I feel like Matt Sloan right now. Stop. I feel like Matt Sloan on Beer and Board Games. Stop it. So, okay, in all seriousness, Niantic, the company that makes Pokemon Go, right when the pandemic started, they decided, hey, we probably shouldn't be encouraging people to gather into large crowds and go outside during a pandemic. So what they did was they decided that the distance that you have to be to activate. So in the game, you play the game by going outside, and like depending on where you go on the GPS, there's like gyms that you can go to. There's Pokestops to get items. There's Pokemon to capture. And so what they did was they increased the distance that you could be to go to activate a gym or to activate a Pokestop or catch a Pokemon. And so people like that because during the pandemic, nobody wants to be shoulder to shoulder inside of a Target trying to get like a Squirtle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they announced Niantic, they announced recently that they're having an upcoming patch, and they're going to set back the limits on how far away you have to be in order to play Pokemon Go, basically, right? And some people don't really like that because even though most parts of the United States right now are actually winding down their pandemic restrictions, like 65% of adults in the United States, I think, are vaccinated or something like that, which is like really good.
Thank God.
Yeah, and there's going to be like a 20% demographic that we're just never going to be able to like convince otherwise.
I don't want the 5G signal.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Gunther.
But yeah,
we needed to go to the strip club.
some people are a little bit on the fence about running back outside and like being shoulder to shoulder to catch a Charizard in 2021. And like, I kind of agree. I sort of don't. I sort of think that they should keep the distance restrictions the same, at least for like another like year. I don't think that they should set it back to what it was pre-pandemic. And I know that like most people are getting vaccinated. Most places, if you're in like a park, so like if you're in a park or an open area space, it's pretty low risk.
You're pretty spaced out. Like
if you're in an open area,
do you remember when Pokemon Go first came out? How like even people who had like people you would never suspect to play Pokemon Go, it was like families were doing this. They were like, it was like something out of the zombie apocalypse where like groups of people were just going up and down the street playing Pokemon Go. It was crazy.
I remember at the time
it was Pokemania all over again.
We worked at the same bar when Pokemon Go was in like full throttle. And I remember one of the we had like an outdoor sign. We had like an outdoor sign that one of the waitresses would draw on with chalk. And so I remember walking into work one day and I saw that the outdoor sign said, drinks in the front, Pokemon in the back. Yeah, so
I remember that. I totally forgot.
But no, so yeah, that's really
Pokemon in the front,
and apparently there's some like
in the back.
there's some like there's some other stuff going on where they're increasing the price of their in-game microtransactions. I don't know too much about that stuff, but I just thought it was interesting to talk about resetting the distance back to the normal limit. I'm kind of on the side of like, hey, don't do that. What do you think? Do you think that people are being paranoid? Do you think I'm being paranoid?
I think they're being a little paranoid and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, if you're going to play Pokemon Go now, you're going to be with people that you trust, and hopefully the people that you trust are vaccinated. I mean, it's like you said yourself, 65% of all adults in the U.S. are vaccinated, so it's really not that big of an issue anymore. If this was back in the day, if this was a couple months ago, before the vaccine was starting to roll out, I would say absolutely.
There are a lot of kids that are
really
Oh, sorry.
There are a lot of kids. I was about to say, like, things are kind of going back to the way, like, at least where we are now. I'm not going to say where we are, but, like, we already lifted our COVID restrictions and stuff like that in California. Yeah. So I think it's fine.
Like, if you're outdoors in a park, I think it's pretty low risk to not wear a mask, and like you probably don't have to. You probably don't have to social distance. You probably don't have to wear a mask. You should be fine.
Yeah.
But if you go into
chances are you're fine.
If you go into a crowded place like a mall, though, and there's like a bunch of people playing Pokemon Go, like exercise a little bit of caution, I guess. I don't know.
At least like stay like outside of the mosh pit.
Yeah,
like 6 feet away from the
mosh pit. Don't be inside of the nut fog.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Malls do have that smell, though. Yeah. They have like that old carpet smell, even though it's all tile.
It smells like funk.
It smells like Cinnabon, shitty Chinese food, and nut fog.
Yeah, that's basically every mall in America. No, that's it. Somebody should make a scented candle called just like Essence.
Mall of America.
Essence of Mall. Or something like that. Something really romantic, right?
And it smells like Cinnabon and ass.
Yeah, exactly. It smells like cinnamon, but like vaguely. It smells vaguely like
it's like
burning. It smells like.
Why do I smell corn dogs?
So there's like. It's Cinnabon. So
I get a light hint of Mongolian beef.
So the scented candle would be the scented candle that smells like the mall. It would smell like mostly like Cinnabon, but there's like a vague whiff of like fryer oil. And then like somewhere really off in the distance, you can like vaguely smell urine. Like that's what it smells like. Like it's the kind of thing where like is that urine? Like I think I smell urine, but I don't know. Like that weird feeling where like you know that feeling you go to like the county fair and like you go anywhere near like
it just smells like the livestock area or something like that.
It's like no matter where you go, you can like vaguely smell like the animal dung. You're like, huh. I'm like a quarter mile away from the stables, but I can still smell horse dung.
Do you think they'll have the? This is the boys bitch about local politics portion of the podcast.
I don't think they're gonna have the fair this year. I don't think so. No.
I think they will. I think they're gonna try to go for it.
Here's the thing, Nick. Even if they wanted to, I don't think that because the reason I think they're gonna cancel this year is because the city has to spend so much money to they have to fundraise for the fair every year, and I don't think they've been given the opportunity to fundraise this year as much as they would have wanted to be able to. The only way that happens is if some like rich philanthropist makes like a $20 million donation to the city. That's the only way it happens.
All right, that's fair, but still, it's just like
I don't know.
they make so much money off of that fair.
They do. I agree.
I think they would try to get like maybe a loan or something to like get it off the ground and stuff like that, because they make.
If they do, what they're gonna end up doing is they're gonna put like a hard limit cap on like how many people can come in. They're gonna be like they're probably gonna be like, oh, the first like, I'm just gonna make up a number. The first like 4,000 people, like only like 4,000 people can come today, and you have to pre-buy your ticket.
I think they're just gonna be super irresponsible and just cram everybody in like a sardine tin.
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's unlikely, but maybe.
I
anyway,
I want some shitty food. I want some shitty food.
I do want some deep fried rock candy, and I want some. I don't want deep fried rock candy. When I go to the.
That's a terrible idea.
You know what I want when I go to the fair? I want a big
corn dog,
big ass corn dog.
Corn dog
and listen,
ice cold lemonade.
I'm not talking about that weak sauce wiener schnitzel sized corn. Oh, look at a little corn dog. No.
Oh no! It looks like a policeman's flashlight from the fucking 1980s.
It's a baton. Yeah,
it's a police baton.
Yeah. I want one.
If the corn dog was frozen, you can legitimately use it as a weapon.
You could probably murder somebody with this corn dog if it was frozen. Yes.
Yes.
No, but anyway,
I want some of those. I want some of those sweet almonds. I want those almonds so bad.
Let's
And kettle corn. I want kettle corn.
Let's wrap up. Okay, so actually, before we wrap up, we're gonna talk about One Piece, and then I think we'll wrap up the show. But before that, before I forgot, I wanted to show this. Since the last show, you might have seen if you follow us on YouTube. The thumbnail for last week was actually done by a friend and a fan of the show.
Our boy Mac.
Yeah. I'm pulling it up on the stream, Nick, just so you know. So a couple weeks ago, we did a discussion where we talked about Invincible, and I did a parody thumbnail with my terrible GIMP skills of Nick and I doing the Invincible meme. And so,
I love it. I love it so much.
Friend of the show and amazing artist at Little Max on Twitter did this incredible fan art of Nick and I in our normal pedestrian wear doing the Invincible pose. Now the thing I love about this is because the thing that I love about this is all the small details, right? So there's like, he got the shape of my face correct. He got like, there's like a little piece of hair that's like hanging out on my forehead, and like, I don't know, like, that's perfect because that's what I look like all the time.
It is uncanny.
There's my broken glasses. Nick has his red beanie on. It's very good. I love all the small details.
It's so good. I don't have the beard anymore, but I did have the beard.
But yeah, at the time, most of the time, that's what you look like most of the time. But like, yeah,
I say that's what I look like 95% of the time.
There's just so many great little details that like he clearly studied.
So that's what that is. I didn't realize those were glasses. I thought that was like
those are my broken glasses.
Oh, that's awesome.
Think bet. And like the tiny little tear coming out of my face.
It's so good.
I love all the details. I love it.
Shout out to Little Max. I don't know if he's still taking commissions, but if he is,
I don't know if he's
get a piece done.
I don't know if he's open for commissions. I do know that he does commissions. But yeah, we're gonna put his Twitter. So I put his Twitter in the description of the last episode, but I'm gonna do it again for this episode because he deserves it.
We should put him on the show one of these days.
That's what I was going to say. The couple times I've talked to him, he's what I like about Mac is that he's just a very like sweet, genuine person. So like you know how I have a short fuse and like I'll bitch about Ben Shapiro for like 10 hours. Like he just won't. He just isn't disturbed by that. He's just like, man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Like he's just so chill.
Yeah.
He's just
no, he's really sweet. Like I had him commission me a piece a couple years ago, and I loved it. I still use it for some profile pictures here and there. But yeah, he's a really sweet guy. So Mac, if you're listening to this is an open invite to the show.
That's right, buddy.
You're more than welcome to pop on.
We can talk about so Mac is a big fan of like the Looney Tunes and Five Nights at Freddy's. Although I read some stuff. I read some stuff about the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's recently.
Yeah, I heard about that.
maybe we won't talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. But like you know, otherwise he would be an incredible guest to have.
I know I'm actively trying to get more guests on the show. I'm not gonna say who I'm gonna try to get on the show now, but there's somebody that you and I follow on Twitter that I'm gonna see if we can try to get on the show.
If you want more updates on who and what and when we have people on the podcast, you'll probably have to follow both Nick and myself on Twitter at Unlucky Magician on Twitter. Sorry, it's like Unlucky Magician 76 on Twitter, right?
Yes, it is.
And then I'm at the Obsidian Man on Twitter. And by the way, if you're following us on Twitter, you might as well follow us at youtube.com/theweeklychat with Nick and Pat on YouTube, where I post new episodes every Friday. We've been gone for like a couple weeks. Life happened.
Yeah, sorry about that. Life has been kind of crazy.
Life kind of kicked me in the head. I picked up a lot of shifts at work.
You've had to work several Tuesdays back to back.
Yes.
You're juggling 2 jobs.
I know. I got 2 jobs.
I got 2 jobs.
And yet some boomer probably is telling me will still probably tell me that I'm not working hard enough. You only have 2 jobs. When I was your age, I had 17 jobs. And I pulled myself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah, and you know what? The Coca-Cola that you drank had cocaine in it.
You dinosaur.
No wonder you were able to go up. Yeah.
You dinosaur. Yeah. Have you seen that meme of like the grandma and she's like, well, back in my day, we worked a lot harder than you kids today. And then the kid says,
"Oh, she's in the walker." It's like, "Sure thing, Grandma. Let's get you to sleep."
Well, there's that, but there's another meme where it's like there's a grandma looking at like her grandson or something, and it's like, back in the day, we worked a lot harder than you kids. And the kid says, "Your Coca-Cola literally had cocaine in it, you dinosaur."
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's too much.
But yeah, you should also follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheObsidianMan and twitch.tv/UnluckyMagician76. Do it!
Make sure to, for YouTube, make sure to comment within the first hour. It really helps us out. And make sure to smash the bell.
Hit the like button. Smash the notification bell. Do all the things. Engage and tell the algorithm how much you love it. Just be like, hey, go on Twitter, go on YouTube's Twitter and be like, hey, there are some gentlemen out of California who do a show, and you should tell your aggressive as hell algorithm to promote them more. That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
No, but anyway, in all seriousness, please, if you like the show, hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit all the buttons. Follow us on social. Follow us on Twitch. It'll be incredible.
Buttons. Who's got the button?
So we're gonna wrap up the show by talking. Welcome to the One Piece Corner.
One Piece report. Dream it.
Okay, so it's been a hot minute since we talked about One Piece. I think we did it last time on the show too. But yay! Oda. By the way, obviously spoilers for One Piece. Obviously, for the
manga.
For the manga, yes. Yay! Oda did it. He did it. He did it. Yay!
He did it. All right. We did it.
So in the newest chapter, we're still in the ongoing Wano arc, and we're doing the final battle with Kaido on the floating skull fortress.
With Kaido and friends.
With Kaido and crew. And so after months, we crawled on our stomach to get here. After months of buildup, a minor character of the one of the main characters of the show, who is not one of the monster trio, actually had a fight with somebody, and they actually won. So Nami hasn't had
Nami hasn't had a proper fight since what? Water 7?
Yeah,
Since
at
Enies
least,
Lobby?
at least, yeah. The last fight that honest to God, the last fight I remember like definitively was her fight with Khalifa, the CP9, the bubble lady.
Yeah, the bubble
She's
lady.
probably fought like I think she got rid of some of the. She fought on
she's
Fishman
tried,
Island.
like, weakling.
Yeah, yeah.
They always put her on crowd control.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like she has so much firepower.
Well, so
She should be like
Oda is doing this thing that I really love, where with Nami, there's this character Zeus, and so Big Mom is on is on Wano, and so Big Mom's whole deal is that she can like rip the souls out of like people and like put them into
different things,
into
right?
inanimate objects. Yeah. So one of her she has like a couple of like kind of go-to weapons.
Yeah, she has like
she has
Zeus,
she has
Prometheus.
yeah, Zeus, Prometheus, and her sword. So she has like a hat that turns into a sword. She rides on a big thundercloud named Zeus, and then she has this like sun called Prometheus. And so she can use all these different like soul weapons as like fire attacks, lightning attacks. Like Big Mom is insane. So Big Mom had a falling out with one of her soul weapons called Zeus, who is a he's like a little ditzy thundercloud. He's kind of this dopey kind of guy, and he's like, I'm Zeus, I'm a thundercloud, and I love Big Mom. Like that's kind of his whole character. And
That's a great Zeus voice.
That
is pretty close.
That's the voice that I hear in my head when I read the chapters.
It's me, big doggy.
My name is Zeus. I love Big Mom so much. Like that's the voice that I hear.
That's a great voice.
But no, so Zeus has a falling out with Big Mom and the rest of her soul weapons, and he basically gets kicked out of the posse.
Yeah, she gets kicked out of the gang.
He gets kicked out of the gang, and so previously this character had a relationship with Nami because Zeus is a rain cloud, and Nami has this thing called like the log tempest. The
Climateact.
The Climateact, yeah, sorry. She has this like staff that can like she can do different weather things. She can like make rainstorms and shoot lightning and she can do all kinds of stuff. And so she
Nami was like one of the best cat burglars in the series.
Yeah, her whole thing is she used to be like a thief, and now it's like weather mage, basically like a mage. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's basically a Final Fantasy mage at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so earlier in the Whole Cake Island arc, Nami had like met Zeus before and was like feeding him these like rain clouds and like thunder clouds. And it's like, oh, I like you, ladies. You feed me the rain clouds. I love you a lot. And so after Big Mom like basically kicks Zeus out of the gang, Zeus is like, Nami, you're the only one who loves me. I'm gonna be your friend.
Well, it's like Nami didn't. Well, it's like Zeus totally screwed her over, a la Sunny, and it's just like, holy crap. Oh god.
So now Nami.
Oh, yeah.
So now Nami.
Zeus.
So
she
Zeus
finally got a power up.
Yeah. So Zeus and Nami basically fight together, and now Nami, who's kind of like who hasn't really gotten much growth since the beginning of the time skip, now she has this like. So now Zeus the Thundercloud like lives in her little staff, and so now she can do all kinds of like cool weather stuff. So like for example,
well, she can already do like some cool weather stuff, but now she's like amped up to an insane degree.
Well, now she's got like some of the power of like Big Mom, so
which is terrifying.
Yeah. So like there's a part in the chapter where Nami swings her staff and like basically Zeus becomes like a mace, basically like a big giant. It's almost like when Luffy does the armament hockey, and it's the big like giant black fist. It's kind of like on that level where it's like, oh shoot, Nami can actually like deal some pain now.
I know she can already deal some pain, but they always put her in like crowd control just to toss around some meat sacks.
But no, yeah, we actually had a really fun like fight between these characters. Like, what is her name? One of the flying six. Ulti, yeah. She has like an ancient dinosaur zoan fruit, and she's unkillable. And so Nami realistically should not be able to be
pretty much like that. Why won't you die from Austin Powers?
Nami should realistically not be able to fight. She should not realistically be able to fight this lady on any kind of on equal footing. But she does, and it's great, and it's wonderful.
Although just the fact that like Nami and Usopp took all that damage from her and still lived to tell about it shows you how strong they actually are nowadays.
I can't believe you hurt Pepe! Her weird relationship with her brother. Like, oh, what is happening here? What is happening here?
I have no idea.
Pepe, I love you. We're related. We're siblings. It don't matter.
It don't. Oh god.
That makes it better.
Oh god.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
No, but anyway, it was wonderful because kid, you know, like Augustus Kid didn't step in and say, "Step back, I got this," and Trafalgar Law didn't say like, "Step back, Nami, I got this." No, we actually had main characters actually fight villain characters. It's incredible. It's like, man, it's like I was reading and watching One Piece again. What a concept!
It's like, remember back in the day when it wasn't just the monster trio just steamrolling through everybody, and like every single one of the Straw Hats got a fight.
Like, okay, Arabasta is an amazing arc because all of the Straw Hat crew got a fight.
Yeah, they got a one-on-one.
Well, except for that whole thing with Usopp and Chopper, which is also a great fight, where they fight the mole lady, they fight Miss Merry Christmas and Mr. Four. It's good stuff. But
yeah.
So yeah, it's like a tag team match. But like that being said, they all got a really good fight.
Oh man.
And like
Usopp came in really clutch for that fight.
Oh yeah, he did.
He really did.
And like, it's not to say that they haven't had like star power moments, because like in Dressrosa, Usopp is like the MVP, where he takes out Sugar, or whatever her name is, the little girl.
Yeah, it was Sugar. Well, that's when he went from Usopp to God Usopp.
Sogekinga and God King Usopp.
Oh,
I
man.
love that part in Dressrosa where Don Flamingo makes an announcement over the snail, and he's like, "There's currently 4 bounties here on the island: Monkey D. Luffy, Trafalgar Law, and the most notorious villain, God Usopp." It's like, yes, this is my everything. And then everyone on the island wants to kidnap Usopp.
Oh, Usopp. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. I feel like Usopp's gonna come in super clutch for the next couple of arcs, because like,
now here's the thing. All I want is for Nico Robin to fight Black Maria, and for not to have, and listen, I'm cool with Brook being there. He's playing support, that's fine. But I swear to God, if like Trafalgar Law comes in and is like, "Oh, watch out, Nico Robin, I got this," I swear to God, I'm gonna throw my hands up and be like, "God damn it, Oda." He'll do it too. He'll do it just to spite me.
Just to spite you?
He'll do it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, Nico Robin will be getting her first fight in eons, and Oda will be like,
was the last fight Water 7?
Bro, no, Water 7, she was captured.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe Fish. So like, I think Nico Robin's like, dude, I'm not messing with you. I think Nico Robin's last definitive fight was in like Skypiea, where she fought that like Bacchus looking guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She fought that that Bacchus looking guy who worked for Enel.
Oh, that's right.
But,
dude, Enel's side story is so fucking strange.
I haven't seen it yet, actually. I know he goes to the moon, and I know he like meets little like Martian men, but that's all I know.
Yeah, he goes to the moon of One Piece, and he sees little Martian men.
Aren't
it's
there
weird.
multiple moons in the solar system?
4, or
yeah.
No, just orbiting the One Piece planet and stuff like that. I think there's like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Which means that like
to see space, in One Piece.
I know. I feel like we're gonna see more of the space shenanigans as time goes on.
Space.
Because I have theories.
I think that the end of One Piece is gonna go full Final Fantasy IV, and they're gonna ride the lunar whale from planet Earth to the moon, and that the final boss, like the Will of D, has like something to do with like space aliens, and that like, oh, all of the people with the Will of D are Martians.
I think the Will of D are the descendants of the old kingdom that fought against the world government during the Void Century. That's what I think. Because I think the world government and like Sama are not of the planet. I think they took over.
Oh no, they're gonna go full Boruto? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my I don't know what's going on.
Just
This is okay. This is a One Piece discussion, but like, what, what? Boruto has like Naruto has aliens in it now. It's and like the
yeah.
the final boss
It turns out
the final boss of Shippuden was a Martian from like another planet. Like, can't stop.
aliens.
Stop, please, please.
Aliens.
Asashi Kishimoto. I know you're not writing Boruto, but Jesus, stop.
Well, he laid the seeds for it. Anyway, back to One Piece.
Oh God. No. Anyway, yeah.
So little we and this guy, we have a little side bet going on.
Yeah. So
say...
in the newest chapter, hold on. Before we talk about the side bet, so in the newest chapter, Luffy has like basically it's like the midpoint of the fight between Luffy and Kaido, and Kaido has knocked Luffy off of the castle, and he's now sinking
into the ocean.
Into the ocean. So he's being rescued by the Heart Pirates right now. But in the meantime, Kaido is on his way to rampage throughout the castle to mop up the last of the samurai resistance. And who should stop him but his son Yamato? So they're on the top of the Skull Castle, and Yamato says some very interesting stuff. He basically, he kind of doubles down on like, I am Odin. Like, I'm not your son. I am the son of Odin. Screw you, Dad. And Kaido is like, nuh-uh, you're gonna be the Shogun of Wano, you idiot. And then after that, Yamato says, no, I'm not. After he beats you, I'm gonna travel with the Straw Hat crew and see the sea. And so this has kind of planted this. So okay, for years now, when it came to the Wano arc, because the Wano arc has been many years in the making, many years in the making.
Been like 3 or 4 years, I think.
People online in the One Piece community have been speculating about hashtag next Namaka, because Oda a long ass time ago had basically said that he wanted to have the Straw Hat crew consist of at least 10 main characters, and I believe there's like 9 current. So like, I know that they're gonna be. Oh, what about the Straw Hat Grand Fleet? You know what I'm talking about. The main crew.
The main crew.
Oh, what about the Straw Hat Grand Fleet? I know, but shut up.
They don't count. They don't count right now.
I know. You're technically right, but shut up. It's like, come on. The main paisanos.
Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Chopper,
Usopp,
Frankie, Brook, Usopp, Jinbei.
Yeah, it's 9, right?
Yeah. With Yamato, it's 10.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people speculate that there's one, and so Oda is always talking about like, oh yeah, One Piece is like half over, One Piece is like 3/4 over, One Piece is only 20% done, One Piece is 65% done. So like nobody knows for sure, right? But like,
no, nobody.
So some people speculate that the story is possibly big old finger quotes there, possibly starting to wind down into one of its final arcs, possibly. Finger quotes.
Well, I think we still have one more saga left.
But so
because like Enies Lobby and Water 7 are considered sagas.
Yeah.
I think we're heading into final, because honestly, like there's still a lot of stuff that we have to worry about, like Dragon,
Elbaf,
and Shanks, Elbaf. What the hell is Imusama?
Yeah,
Who the hell is Joy Boy?
The world government.
What is a Joy Boy?
The world government.
The new admiral that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Like there's
Green
Bull.
What I'm getting at is that a lot of people speculate like, we've spent so much time in Wano, they have to add a new member. And like, so some people, although here's like, some of the speculation is like really awful. So here's a couple that I don't believe. So some people say like, oh, Momonosuke is gonna join the Straw Hat crew. No. He's gonna be the Shogun. That's the whole point of the saga. That's the whole point of the arc, is to make Momonosuke the rightful Shogun of Wano. That's the whole point. He's not gonna join anyway. That's wrong. It's not gonna happen. But people online, you've read this, I bet. People are like, oh, it's gonna be Momonosuke.
Oh, I've read it. No.
Another one that
No.
I hear that's not gonna happen is
Oh, it's
Tama.
Tama.
Is Tama, yeah. People are like,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
so there's this theory going around that like, every time a new member of the crew, like traditionally speaking, like every new member of the crew before they join the crew has like either worn or touched Luffy's straw hat. And so there's a scene where she like wears it while Luffy's carrying her around Wano, and it's like, no, that is
No.
such thinly veiled evidence. No.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't give it to Zoro. He didn't give it to Sanji. The only Brooke, Frankie, like none of those guys.
But like that's like
not,
that's
you
the
can,
theory.
Like you could say that for Nami.
That's the theory.
That's it. That's I
well,
could poke more holes in it
so
than
like
just cheese.
so after Impel Down, there's a part where like Luffy drops his like straw hat and Jinbei like hands it back to him, and so people are like, oh, you see, Jinbei touched it and Nami touched it, and like all these other people. So like, yeah, it's a stupid theory that's not true.
Yeah. Well, it's like Luffy, as much as he loves that hat, he does tend to lose it sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That string must be made out of vibranium. It has to be.
Well, like it's been fixed multiple times because like I think during the fight with Buggy like grabs like his Wolverine claws and he like rips it.
And he
so,
stabs it. Yeah.
So Nami,
Nami
she's fixed it.
I think that's the only time that it's been fixed. I'm surprised that thing hasn't been torched.
I think it's been fixed a couple different times because I think other people.
I know one time it's been fixed.
Yeah, but no, so here's another theory that I think is more plausible. Because this character has been with the crew for a long time, and she's basically like a Vivi level honorary member at this point. She's basically a member in everything but name only, and that's Carrot. I was willing to believe
still in Wano. I haven't seen Carrot in a minute.
I was willing to believe that Carrot could potentially be a member of the crew, especially since
I thought so too.
Especially since the what are they called, the Zoans or the animal people?
The Zoe Kingdom.
Yeah, especially
the Minks.
The Minks, thank you. Especially since the Minks they idolize the Straw Hats after they save them, especially Chopper. So odds were pretty high that I thought it was like possibly it was like a 30% probability that Carrot would join the crew. Yeah. But now, so for a long time, ever since people have been fascinated by the character of Yamato since he got revealed. Because Yamato was this character that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, nobody saw coming.
So like it was during because like everyone was focused on the invasion.
Kaido just dropped.
Yeah.
Kaido just dropped the fact that he had a son.
Yeah.
And just like, where's my idiot son?
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like Yamato was kind of this figure in the background. It was like, who is Yamato?
Yeah. Like, oh wait,
what's this deal?
Well, so I thought like, oh shoot, like Kaido has a son. He must be badass. He's gonna like beat the crap out of the samurais and the Straw Hat crew. And so it's very refreshing where you see Yamato and he's like, no, I fight for the side of Odin. You're like, oh, interesting. And so ever since I think the first chapter where Yamato like is a prominent character and he goes on his whole spiel about like, I am the reincarnation of Odin. I think everyone was like, oh, potential hashtag Namaka.
Yeah.
And so for a long time, I was going to say no to the theory that Yamato was going to join the crew. And so the main reason being that like
I believed wholehearted that Yamato was going to join the crew. The main reason
I said no and was leaning on no was because I just thought that like in theory, so hypothetically speaking, of course, if Kaido loses, so after Kaido is defeated, Momosuke is going to assume the role of the Shogun, and so it was my theory that like, oh, Yamato is going to be like the guardian of the new empire of Wano. Like he's going to be like the sort of like the shining knight, kind of like the King Arthur type of like defender of the crown type of character.
Right.
And so before this chapter came out, where Yamato basically flat out like admits that he's at least interested in the idea of joining the crew, I was at work with you.
He is so hell bent on.
I was at work with you, and we were talking about One Piece. We talk about One Piece a lot. We're both fascinated by One Piece.
I adore. It's one
and
of
so
my favorite
we were
things of all
talking
time.
at work, and like
DBZ is to other people as One Piece is to me.
Yeah, it really is. That's how I feel too. I have no love for
One Piece is better than Dragon Ball Z. Fight me.
I will fight you in the streets.
Oh yeah, listen, we'll tag team him. I'll join you in the street.
Hmm.
No, but
Belongs
we
in
were
the
talking
streets.
at work, and so Nick was like, "Yeah, I think Yamato will join the crew." And I'm like, "I don't think so." And so we had this moment, like, you want to bet? And so we have a $5 wager going on this
We got
crap.
we got
Hold on,
five
the
bones.
the rules as set
The
though were
rule
like Luffy has to, because like people can't like self-invite themselves onto the crew. Luffy has to be like, hey, do you want to be part of my Namaka? Like that he has to ask, and the person has to accept, like, yeah, of course. And like that's like the rules, right? So if Yamato like officially is hashtag Namaka, then I owe Nick $5.
Although I think what they're gonna do is, I think Yamato is gonna pull an Odin, and it's like Luffy's just like, just get on the stupid boat. It's like, no, you have to drag me behind the boat, behind the sea for 3 days.
And I like
just get on the stupid boat.
So there was evidence to support that Yamato would join the crew, because like obviously Yamato fancies himself as like the son, or like the living version of like of Odin. And
Odin,
so
born again.
And so it's this whole idea that like, Gold Roger, recruited Odin onto his crew, and so history repeats itself, because Luffy's going to be the Pirate King, and like he's the living incarnation of Gold D. Roger, and so of course like Odin is going to join his crew, obviously, right? So it's this whole idea of like history repeating itself.
It all comes full circle.
And you know what? If that happens, that's fine. I think that's just fine. I like Yamato. Yamato's a cool character.
I like it. Yamato is a cool character. They hinted at him in the new opening when they have that little tidbit in the center and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Animated Yamato, let's go, and Marco's back.
Oh yeah,
again.
I love how for this entire fight, Marco the Phoenix is just kind of chilling. Like Marco is like the chill stoner uncle that's watching the kids like skateboard outside. Like, yeah, there you go.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, you kids have fun. He's smoking a blunt on the back porch, watching all the teenage kids like skateboard. Just don't get hurt. And by the way, if
you know what's really funny? Do you know who voices Marco in the One Piece the Seiyu?
Oh no, I was gonna say the dub. I think I know, but no, who's the Japanese Seiyu?
It's Ichigo. Ichigo says Seiyu.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Can't seem to escape getting strawberry red hair or something.
Strawberry fields forever.
And I think with that, that's a show. Unless you want to talk about it some more.
I think Yamato is cool, man. I think it's cool to have like
we got $5 on the line. Whole dollar.
I hope that I'm a little bit disappointed that we're doing this whole thing where like, oh no, like Kaido made this whole broadcast where he's like, Luffy's dead and we're gonna beat you now, and it's like, oh no, because they've in fact they even make fun of this in the chapter where like Chopper talks to Sanji and is like, oh, Luffy's dead, and Sanji basically says like, Chopper, how many times has this happened to us where the big bad guy of the enemy team says that our captain's dead, and then he comes and kicks it? Like, how many times has this happened, Chopper?
That's why I really appreciate Luffy as a shonen protagonist.
Yeah.
Why I think he's better than Goku and all those other guys, because like usually like they'll get a few bumps and scrapes, or they'll run away and go train some other day. No, Luffy gets the absolute piss beaten out of him constantly.
Yeah.
He's this close to the edge of death several times during an arc, especially this time around when he's got his ass whooped twice by Kaido.
You long for death.
Pretty handedly.
Yeah. Now this is twice in a row, especially.
Third time's a charm.
Conqueror's hockey is a hell of a drug, I guess.
It really is a hell of a drug. Although Luffy was just fighting in base.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that new Conqueror's coding thing, along with the Rio stuff, is going to do with like.
That's pretty based, bro.
Snake Man or Tiger Man or like.
I sort of hope that we don't do
this Devil Fruit, yeah.
I hope we don't do a Gear 5 thing. I know you've been jonesing for it for a while.
I want Gear 5. Why don't you want Gear 5?
Because the
Are you allergic to happiness?
No.
Are you allergic to happiness?
No.
Because that's what that is.
I still think that the Bound Man is still like fairly new. I guess. Like, okay.
It's been over 5 years.
Do you remember Bleach? Speaking of Bleach and Ichigo, You remember like how at the end of Bleach, they like every other day Ichigo had like a new power, right? Oh, he's like he's a Soul Reaper. No, no, no. He's like an Arankar. Oh no, 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 no. He's what is that? No, the Arankars were hollows that gained Shimigami powers. What was the opposite? Where they were humans that gained like hollow powers. That or no, they were Soul Reapers who gained human powers. I forget what they're called.
God, what the hell were they called?
Shinji, there was the guy Shinji who had like the visors.
Visor.
Yeah, the visors. So he's like, oh, he's like a Soul Reaper. No, he's a visor. Oh no, he's a Fullbringer. Oh wait, nope, not anymore. Now he's a Quincy. Like, yeah. Oh no, now he's like a full Vostra Lourdes or whatever. What? That's what it was called, right? When he like went full like hollow.
Yeah. When he went full hollow, yeah.
Vostra Lourdes or whatever.
But yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
When I start talking about Bleach, I think we should. Unless you actually had more to say, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, give me Awakening or Gear 5 or give me Death.
I still think
I feel like
I just feel the Bound Man is still too new. I don't know.
It's been 4 years.
I love Luffy's power is basically to get a dad bod.
Pretty much. He basically turned into Maui from
He turned into Frankie and Maui, yeah.
Yeah. Although some people are saying, like, yeah, like, Luffy's either going to need to awaken his Devil Fruit or to bust out Gear 5.
Okay. I don't know what that would look like. He literally at one point just, like, turns into a mech. I will use the rubber in my body to construct and turn myself into an actual Gundam.
Or he inflates himself so much that he turns into a giant.
Yeah.
Oh god, a giant with that.
Oh, so you're saying like a Gear 3 type thing, except his whole body, he goes like full like Hulk.
Yeah,
Hulkin.
just think a Bound Man, but the size of a giant.
Hell.
Or close. Or
he basically becomes Ors from Thriller Bark.
Yeah, right. But except he has like crazy Conqueror's Haki
and he's like
coding,
and he's in control of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like. How metal would that be if he's almost as big as Kaido flying in the sky fighting him?
Now that would be sick. Like he's wrestling, like he's this big Iron Giant type guy, and he's like wrestling the dragon.
Like some people have told me like, oh, it's gonna be like Gear 5, Tiger Man, or like I like Ogre Man.
Oh, okay. I don't like Tiger Man because then Luffy's because it kind of impedes on that whole Rob Lucci thing where he like basically Luffy beats the crap out of that like.
Yeah. Well, he's a leopard, though.
By the way, I know. I know that, like, is it CP0 on the island? Aren't they spying on everybody?
Yeah. So yes, they are.
So is it Rob Lucci also on the island?
No, Rob Lucci's still in Marriage Wall.
Right,
he's at the Reverie. He's at Marriage Wall right now.
Listen,
it's like other members of his squad.
I know it's a dumb thing and it'll never happen. I want Luffy versus Rob Lucci again!
Round 2, let's go! Oh, dude, I want that rematch so much because now he has to have hockey at this point, right? Otherwise, what's the point?
The brawl in the hall, the rage in the cage.
Brawl. Dude, that was one of my favorite anime fights of all time.
Good.
It's Rob Lucci.
When he does like the jet bazooka thing, and he like that's like his last ditch effort. Is like, please just go down.
I know, dude. That was a slugfest because it's not one of those things where like he just gets a brand new power. And he just steamrolls through everything.
He's got to make do with what he's got.
Yeah, he had to fight tooth and nail just to even put him down, and he was like this close to death.
Yeah, it was almost like when he fought that guy on Whole Cake Island, whose name I always forget.
Record?
No, what the hell's the name of the guy?
Katakuri.
Yeah, Katakuri. Yeah, that was a
when he fought it for like 12 hours straight or something.
Yeah. The Mochi Mochi no Mi.
Oh, that was a great one too. But yeah, he's gonna have to bust out something else. And I think with that,
yes, indeed,
that is the show.
We both clearly had a little bit more One Piece in us.
I always have a little bit of one. I always have One Piece to spare.
Yago. But yes, that's the end of the show.
So, folks, we had a good time tonight.
We did actually.
We talked about video games.
Lots of video games.
We talked about One Piece. We talked about the human condition why people are greedy and karma is a real thing.
We talked about cringy political memes involving Hillary Clinton.
Looks like we're gonna Pokemon Go to
I'm gonna Pokemon.
YouTube.
We're gonna Pokemon go to hell if we make that joke
Yeah.
again.
We're gonna Pokemon Go to the sub box to subscribe to this channel right here
There you
at the Weekly Chat with Nick and Pat.
You saved
Make sure to hit that bell. Make sure to comment within the first hour. You know, by the way, if you guys want to comment something, we read all the comments.
We do read all the comments.
So if you guys want to if you guys want a question or something that you want answered on the show, feel free to put it in the comments.
And by the way,
if it's appropriate, we will answer it.
And by the way, if this is your first episode, we have an entire catalog of episodes. This is only episode 9. This is only episode 19. There's 18 other episodes you can listen to.
With 19. No, 19.
I'll give you
19.
if I will entice you to go watch one of the episodes. In one of the episodes, I sing a song from Disney's Frozen.
It is tremendous.
So you have to, if you want to hear that, if you want to hear me sing one of the songs from Frozen.
I also do a perfect reenaction of a character art from Game of Thrones. It is spot on. It's Oscar worthy.
We have an entire episode where Nick. Actually, I think we have 2 conversations in 2 different episodes about. We talked about Game of Thrones a couple times actually.
A few times.
We had a discussion about the fallout of Game of Thrones. So if you want to get into that, Nick, if you want to see Nick's soul get crushed into 1,000 little shards, watch our Game of Thrones discussion where you can actually see Nick dying in real time.
Oh, speaking of which, I also mind break Pat in the last episode.
That's right. There's a moment where I got so emotional.
There was an interesting correlation between Cat Dog and the Human Centipede. Check it out.
That's right.
Anyway, folks, we had a good time, and we hope to see you again very soon.
Remember.
A ding.
Remember.
A ding.
Remember.
A ding.
We love you very much.
Ding. We love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.